Here we go, episode 3, No Friendly Fire, Dual Universe podcast. And tonight we have a couple of creators I'm excited to talk to. You guys probably know them. We've got Drax and SeekerOfHonjo, along with 902 back for a second dose. He liked it so much last time. And of course, myself, Swerving. So, guys, welcome. Chat,
Thank you.
Feel free to light it up.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So, as I think we should continue to do, well, hold up. We got Kitpo hitting us with a raid, so you guys come on in, pull up a seat. You're probably already seated, but appreciate you guys jumping in here. So we are just getting started. We've got Drax, SeekerOfHonjo, 902, and myself, Swerving, just getting started here. So, as we do for first time creators coming in, like to just hear their genesis story, right, and kind of what they've got going on and what they're doing. So, Drax, I guess I'll start with you, my friend. Thanks for coming in. Tell us about how you got started in DU.
I've been following DU since they first announced on their Kickstarter. I've been watching that for a while. I regret not actually getting in on the ground floor in the beginning so I can get the Ruby account. But hey, I didn't know if it was just going to be another cash grab or something. But
yeah,
I definitely stayed tuned because I was playing Space Engineers at the time.
Okay.
So I got it. I bought a first right off the bat. I bought a 1 year sub to it, and I got a bunch of friends come in. We start playing it. It was, I think, like a week after beta started. And then, I just was playing for a bit, and all my friends left. Everybody left. And I was like, I don't know what to do. I wasn't building. I wasn't selling anything. So I was building and keeping it. And it wasn't until I started streaming, and I built a ship on stream and brought it over to Serapis. And people were like, how do we not know you? How do we not seen any of your work? I'm like, because I mine, sell it, and then buy parts. That's all I do. I don't sell anything. And that was the Nautilus. That was the first one that people started seeing.
It's a good one.
I got started in DU.
That's awesome. So you're one of these guys that I talk about, and sometimes they'll reach out. These guys, they're just got their heads down. They're out there. They're in the game. They're active. They're just building. They're just doing their thing. And then here you come. You take a ship over to Serapis. Yeah, your ships are amazing. Glad the community discovered you. And yeah, I'm excited today to talk more with you about all of these awesome ships and the impact they've had across the community, all of your fly-ins. Whole thing's amazing. And we're going to go out. We're going to VR out and take a look at what you've got going on. But we've got Honjo here, SeekerOfHonjo. And I'll tell you guys, I've seen SeekerOfHonjo since launch for sure, when I kind of started to embrace the community. And he's been great. He's been a great contributor to a lot of initiatives, a lot of creators out there trying to, create a good scene, create a good environment for the community. Honjo's been a great contributor to that. So, Honjo, welcome in, man. It's good to have you.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. So, how did you get started? How did you find out about DU, and what got you in here?
So, I've played a lot of MMOs over the years. Many. Black Desert Online, both Final Fantasy MMOs, EverQuest, WoW. I played Space Engineers, Satisfactory, pretty much like any factory style game that's been out, I've done at least once. And somehow, somewhere, DU kept creeping up on the wikis as an ad for me.
Okay.
The first time I saw it, I kind of went and read the article about it. So it's like, what's this? Dual universe. And I've read an article about, it was, I think, right before or right after schematics were introduced.
Okay.
And somebody was talking about how they have these massive factories, and then somebody was also just had like launched themselves into space to go out to see how far they could go. It's like, that's an interesting concept,
Yeah.
but because of like the amount of changes at the time, I wasn't too into it. I like a more stable game. I've beta tested many games. I played Ark from launch. I've played a game called Eco from launch. I've played Minecraft since pretty much launch. And while it's been fun, playing buggy games and dealing with crashes and everything else has always been kind of a cumbersome thing for me, and I've wanted to kind of cruise through games now. And I think I joined right before Demeter, which was the
Okay.
mine and change.
Yeah.
Because mining was not appealing to me. I was like, if I want to go mine, I'll just go play Minecraft. It's like I can
That's fair.
dig massive holes in Minecraft. Yeah. But no, I joined the game. My first day, I think it was one of my first streams ever, actually. I met two people in game, Haynes and God, I'd have to look up his name. And they kind of brought me into their little group. After that, MC Hayes, Heyz. They kind of brought me in. And I was kind of getting into Demeter and all of that.
Yeah.
And then they kind of disappeared on me. They kind of went off and did their own thing. They stopped playing DU for quite a bit. And I met some other people. And I ended up helping somebody disassemble Nuclear Brothers base. I think Nuclear Brothers was a big builder at the time, and that group had quit, so I helped like disassemble that base. And that's kind of where I got my start with doing like massive bases and voxels and factory.
Okay.
And then I realized the only way for me to make an incoming game was pretty much do factory work because I didn't want to sell BPs. Selling BPs means I have to go out and kind of do the marketing for everything. Whereas if I'm selling parts, I can sell to my friends and call it a day. All I have to do is procure ore. So the factory got pretty big, and then I kind of started doing the factory / kind of loans to players that were trying to do big projects and stuff like that, where they needed some like upfront capital for like space cores, or if they needed like voxel, I would help them out with that.
That's awesome. Yeah, you are like you were definitely the bank of sorts. And you've done real well for yourself, and a bit of a philanthropist almost. I would almost say you are to the community.
Yeah, it worked out because I didn't come back at launch because, like I said, I don't like playing games that are just starting out anymore. So I wanted the economy to stabilize because one of my big things is I hate trying to help build economies in games. It's not that it's not fun, it's just so cutthroat sometimes, and I did it in EVE, and I played EVE hardcore for many, many years, and I knew I didn't want to do that again, because it took the game from being fun and enjoyable to kind of being like a job, and I don't want to play a game like a job.
Completely understandable.
But yeah, it's pretty much what got me into DU.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And guys, if you haven't seen SeekerOfHonjo's factory, it's a pretty incredible operation. Your base and your tower, you know. Honjo, did you do that? Is that your tower? Is that your brainchild?
Yeah, that was the first thing I built when I came back to the game.
It's amazing. Thank you for the follow, Kitpo. It's an amazing tower. But then there's so much going on underneath that thing you'd never know. But you've got an awesome collection of ships. Some of those which are Drax's ships. And so you mentioned that part of what you do earlier. We were talking before we got started. You're talking about how you made your fortune and continue to be successful. You're selling stuff right from your base. So tell us a little bit about that operation, if you don't mind. Without tipping your hat.
So basically, and I've talked about it on my stream before about how I price everything. Basically, I have an app I wrote that takes basically every recipe in game and attempts to make like 1,000 to 10,000 of an item to get my cost.
Yeah.
Because doing one at a time, the cost looks astronomical for an item versus when you make 1,000 of them. And all I do is I do 2 types of markup. I do 30% rate, that's the storefront property, and I do the 20% rate for people like Drax and everyone else. Some people get down to 15%, but basically anything that takes less than 7 days, I just mark up 30% over what it takes me to make it in ore and schematics, and that's the price I put down. Sometimes I'm under market, most of the time. Sometimes I'm above market for things like warp cells and fuel because it just doesn't make sense for me to work that hard for what's effectively 1 to 4%. I think 5% is the highest the gap's gone for.
Wow, that is tight. I did not realize that, but that's pretty tight.
Yeah, so selling voxel low tier and fuel and warp cells is all very thin margins, and while I do sell voxel for tokens that I make, most of the time it's very minimal or at cost. So
nice. So you're making all this stuff, and if you've seen his factory, and I've seen some big factories in the game, and I keep hearing stories. They're almost mythical, but certainly Honjo, yours is one of them. I remember seeing your control room and just being blown away. But you're also you do have an awesome collection of ships, and is that something that I've seen some really exotic looking ships, like some ships in some exotic livery, so to speak. I've seen some gold ships out there. When did you get into the ship scene? You seem to be a bit of a collector, but you also are selling them, right?
Yeah, so certain ships I build to order. So in the beta, Cabinet's Customs made prior to the voxel precision tool something called the Titan, which was supposed to be like a mobile carrier. I took that and redid all the voxel work for them in release, and we decided to sell it under a limited run. So usually what I buy are mostly limited run ships that fly well. The Phoenix I have was a limited run in beta. I have, I think, 2 of Drax's wind chills, which were limited runs. Well, initial limited runs. The Nautilus from Captain Customs. Basically, if you say I'm going to make 10 or less of them, I'm like, okay, how much money?
Okay, nice. I like that. I can appreciate that. And that market, and I've heard a back and forth about the limited runs, but I certainly am a fan of it, and that's awesome that you're a collector of those, because I can appreciate that part of the game. Now, and I guess Honjo, we talked about VR into your space station. We're going to talk about a little later. I guess we can real quickly, since we're talking about it, VR out to your base. If I just type in your name here, let's see.
SOH Tower would be the base.
There you go. That's what I'm looking for. I'm a little late to the game. I know we've been talking about it for a little bit, but we'll come over here and take a look. You know, we dropped by here on the egg tour that I got on, and that was pretty cool. And I guess
we've redone a few things since the egg tour.
Yeah, awesome. So yeah, I was gonna say, since that time, you know, if there's anything that you've got that's new. I remember walking up on that hand. You know, I can't remember the first time I saw that, but I remember that was one of the things at your base that blew me away. Was this that awesome hand that was a voxel outline with the lava. There it is. As we're just landing at Seeker's base. There you go. Just really cool. I know it's dark, but yeah. And then the tower, if we can kind of get to a perspective where we can kind of zoom out on this thing. Amazing tower. Again, SeekerOfHonjo. So this is your first thing you did post launch, coming back. Let's make this guy. But then you've got a just incredible array of ships out here.
So one of the things we've changed recently is I built those hangars. Those are built off a 3D model.
Very nice.
And if you look along that runway you're on, there's some elevators. We rebuilt the concourse that's under the runway. So there was...
wow, look at this. Oh, hello.
So basically the concourse is, I think, 5 or 6 cores that are all identical. But it's supposed to kind of look like an airport. This was the second project I worked on when I came back to the game.
Very nice. Very nice. Wow, dude.
You even had a few minions working on it.
Yeah, so if you go to the center where you see the blue and yellow pipes coming down from the ceiling,
oh wow,
you'll see like coffee shops. It's mirrored on both sides basically, but you can see a sign of everyone that's helped out make that. There's a sign right there that says everyone who worked on it.
Very nice. That is awesome. That is awesome. I guess I gotta let my dog out. I'm so sorry. I'll be right back.
Yeah, great job, guys. That looks absolutely spectacular. Love that. What materials did you use?
The original was plastic and all aluminum.
Okay,
when we reprinted it, we went with steel, wood. I believe the white on the floor is marble.
Okay, yeah, all right, yeah.
The ceiling, I want to say, is copper.
Wow, okay. Yeah.
And above the ceiling is air ducting that I believe is stainless steel.
Nice. Yeah,
the
that gives
pillars are chromium and gold.
Wow, okay, yeah.
So yeah, we went a little wild on the concourse.
Yeah, I mean, it looks amazing. It absolutely does. And I'm a bit of a lighting junkie. Lighting tends to be one of those things people sort of forget with stuff like this, and I just like the way, you know, the way you've got the lighting done. Just it casts shadows in interesting places. It throws highlights in interesting places. I really like that.
Yeah, and we have like a noodle bar that was made in beta, but that person never came back, so we have a noodle bar, and we have a coffee shop.
Nice. Cosmic coffee. Very cool. I like the lettering. Okay, yeah, cool.
It was really nice that they start using some people's stuff that they're no longer with us in game, but their stuff kind of lives on.
Yeah.
Live on.
And at the bottom of some of the pillars, if you look, is blue AGGs.
Nice. Yeah. Just to get the glow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. Yeah, and that's actually something I like about this game so much, is that basically as long as the lights are on, as it were, there's you can leave your mark, sort of for what passes for in-game eternity on just by crafting something cool that other people are going to go wow about.
Hey,
So-
Swervin, go to the blue pipe real quick. There should be an elevator right there. And you can see above the roof, we actually went we went complete here, so we've got air ducts up there, we have piping for like the AC units that are up there, basically everything.
Wow. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool that you take it to that degree, because I assume that's something you guys had set out to do, and it was fun doing.
One of the things I always tell Drax is I go behind the wall and find Vox wires. I always try to fix them.
I love that kind of detail. Yeah,
So-
the stuff that's there for lack of a better way of putting it, for the sake of the art, as opposed to that is awesome.
And then we have the AGG right there in the middle.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, this is good stuff, man.
And the one side both sides have things that are like airport terminals with large containers behind them.
Incredible stuff. Man, now, sorry if I missed it. How long did this take to get down here, to get to this state from, I guess, start to where we are now?
The initial concourse, I think, was what, Drax, 2 or 3 days?
Yeah.
The revision of it took me about a week because I had to do a lot of cutting and special stuff with the ceiling to get it to work right. So a lot of the patterns I use are from different people's voxel kits.
Okay.
And like the ceiling is one of CCU's voxel kits. Those landing pads were done by one of the guys that I met when I first came to the game.
Well, it's been masterfully all put together. I will say that. Just incredible work. Really good stuff.
Like that entire pad you're standing on was pre VPT tool.
Yeah. Wow. That's pretty remarkable. I remember when I first got into the game, you see all the what were they called? I'm gonna say activators.
Reactors.
Reactors, there you go. I remember seeing that and just being dumbfounded, really, is, I guess, the best word, as how you can know, and I guess if you do anything enough, you'll know, but how you can know before you even place it and start to use it, what effect it's gonna, have on the voxel. And I don't know, the whole thing blows my mind. It still blows my mind looking back on it. Some things folks are doing with the Vertex editor is still blowing my mind. So I can always appreciate good voxel work like this. It's just amazing, even before the editor, what people could do. I mean, it's still amazing what people are doing. This is this kind of speaks to all of that right here. That's wild. That's under your runway.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Well,
One thing we learned when building that is you see all the blue planet holograms.
yeah.
The surface of that hologram, craters and all, are snap points.
Huh.
So you can snap a sign to it and watch the sign move side to side as the planet rotates and you hit a crevice.
Really?
Yeah. It was funny because I was running along with a screen in my hand and my mouse just hit that and I watched the screen like jitter. I'm like, wait, is that really a snap point? And sure as stuff, that entire hologram is a couple thousand snap points effectively.
Well, that's very interesting to know. Um, huh. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff, man. Um, well, look, you know, I see some ships up here that I kind of want to talk about. Drax, you are one of the premier ship makers in the game for sure. And I guess, how did you get started making ships? Well, okay, you kind of told me the story that you were just making them, but things like what I'm looking at, like when did you get to that? When did you start selling stuff? I guess to the quality that you are now, that we all know. Um, how long did it take you to get to that level? Kind of walk us through how you you said you started streaming it, and I guess folks gravitated to it, but kind of walk us through that.
Oh, I've always been a little bit artistic, but never really had the hands for it. My hands shake too much, but my whole family are really artistic, but I just don't have it to be able to do it on paper or anything like that. But I started working on it, and when I started on here, there was no one on here that would help you with learning voxels and stuff. And I started really on Space Engineers, playing with the Space Engineers giant blocks, and that's where I really started getting into this type of gameplay. And I was doing simple things on there with big blocks. That's why most of my early stuff is a lot of really simple shapes, because that's what we had on Space Engineers, and that's what I was used to being built with. And the downside is, unfortunately, it does take me a while to be able to visualize how I want to move the blocks, what I want them to look like. But so usually I expand my growth little by little, so I get used to each size and shape. But my first ships were just like most everyone else, they're kind of boxy. My first one was they called it the garbage truck, because it looked like a garbage truck. And it kind of, what happened to it is it burned up in atmosphere, because I didn't realize at the time that you can salvage your ships back, because I was used to playing Space Engineers. And if you played Space Engineers, when you burn up or blow up, your ship goes poof. So I was like, I was on Sanctuary at the time in beta, and I start working on there, playing with it. And so we didn't have the VPT then, right? Like, we had the reactors then, like you were talking. And anybody who's played with those, no, it's not something you just jump into. You don't just drop into that knowing what the hell to do with it, unless you're Torden, right? But I start working on them. There's no one really to help, so I start streaming to try helping other people out, because although there was a few people that you could watch and get going on it, there was really no one there that you could say, hey, how do you do that? And they'll respond. They're just either ignore you or give you a half-baked answer of how they do it. And there was a few out there, but really it was more advanced videos and stuff of how to use the VPT, not the VPT, the reactors and stuff. And I was not at that point yet, nowhere near that point. Like, I could barely understand what the voxels were at that time. But I started working on it, getting better and better at it, and it just takes time. We've been in there all going on 3 years now, right? And it's taken me 3 years to get to where I am now. And I'm just happy that people have seen my stuff. The community enjoys it enough that they keep coming back.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at the wind chill, but you've got so many kind of what I like to call bangers. They're just, you look at it and you go, man, I gotta get that. What? I hate to ask this question, and I'll give you some leeway here. Is there any ship? I don't want to say what's your favorite ship. I think that's cruel to ask that of you. But is there any ship that you've put out there, of all the ships you've put out there, what do you think has got the most response? What do you think of your ships do you think's been the most popular with the community?
Probably the Nautilus first was probably the most popular. The very first one that got a lot of attention, including by NQ.
Yeah.
It's one of the very first one that I ever really built and people first saw, and it's probably got the most attention. After that would be the wind chill, but yeah, definitely the Nautilus, which isn't out here. It's in my shop.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, you know, you got some. It's a really unique looking ship, the Nautilus. The wind chill is also just ridiculous, incredible. I love to see them at the ship shows. I think I've seen one in gold. I don't know if that one was yours.
That was Honjo's.
Okay, that makes sense. I was gonna say.
Wait, is mine gold?
Red
Yeah,
and gold.
Mine is red and gold. Mine is an Iron Man spec. Sharky's is
Very
black
nice.
gold. And my second one is cobalt.
Yep.
All right, there you go.
The Iron Raw is the next one that's going to be, I think, super popular.
So can I see the whip, or what do you think? No.
Yeah, come on and look at it.
Where are you?
He shows it on stream constantly. I don't see why not.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Here. I don't know if you can see me or not.
I'm looking for you, dude.
Behind you.
Should have. Oh, there you are.
Go straight into your left.
There you are.
There you go. But yeah, I think it'll be super popular. Jams, you might be doing a video on it. I don't really know, but I figure it'd make it into your highlight reel hopefully eventually. I'm hoping it'll make it episode 48.
48. All right. I think you might have spoke it into existence, Drax. And I love it.
She's not completely done. I was hoping for you to do it when she's completely done. That way you don't have to see all the things floating around it and stuff. But that way you can actually get the full feeling. Now he's gonna see it because it's behind the Honjo.
Yeah.
He's gonna get the whole side view of it.
Look at this thing. Wow. This thing is massive, and looks very luxurious.
The detailing on the side of that is spectacular.
Yeah, it's
I can't do that with a paintbrush, let alone a voxel. What the hell?
Yeah.
I can't lie. Bone Shredder made it, and he had it sitting on one of his buildings. I was like, because this is what I was looking to put on the ship, right? Is stuff like that. I was actually trying to make stuff, and I got the idea from the old time like reliefs up in the corner of up the fancy old houses where they have like those corner things.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want stuff like that, and I was trying to find some. I couldn't find anything, and I tried to make it. I failed, and I went to Bone Shredder's base, and he had that sitting up the side. He made me the Ankh that's in the middle, but I went to his base and I was like, can I have that? He's like, what, the Tree of Life? And I'm like, yeah, can I have that? He's like, sure. So I took it and started breaking it apart, and a lot of the designs on this is literally the same. That emblem just ripped apart and dissect it into making new designs. And he's just like, he actually liked that I did it without repeating the same pattern constantly again and again and again. Like, there's a few repeating patterns, but not like a lot.
I gotta tell you.
Yeah, and most of the patterns are I think it's for symmetry on both sides.
Right. Yeah.
All right, tell me about this madness in the center. Who's responsible for this?
The eyeball is actually Bone Shredder again.
Okay.
I paid him to actually make that, and that's when I came over and saw that Tree of Life was when he was making that for me. I came over to pick it up because I was going to check out some of the work that they did at the Voxel Jam, and picking that up, and I was like, can I have that? Yeah. And me and Van Herk, we did the sun around it, and then Rozzy did which you can't see from here, but if you go above and look down on it, you'll be able to see it better. The blue shield underneath the eye is actually tilted and slanted on the top of the AGG. And then the arms are from someone's kit. Back in beta, they had this like a landing gear, a giant hydraulic landing gear,
Yeah.
and I just ripped it off the landing gear and redid some of the voxels on it and cleaned it up a bit. And I was like, you know, this will make a good arm strut for the AGG.
Man, this is too good. Like, this is another banger, Drax. Seriously. My goodness.
Everything goes right. We might be giving away one for Steel Universe's birthday.
I hear that. Goodness. That's awesome. I gotta get out to the front of this thing. All right, so how far along is this thing? How much? What do you have left to do?
Just
Yeah,
some
yeah.
interior work, running through it, making sure. Like if you happen to be running through it and you see some jank, please point it out. Anybody ever runs through it and looks at it and sees like a flicker that's not marked with a sign or something like that, or anything out of place, a single vertice off. Let me know, because at this point it is down to the point of looking for every stray vertice, every stray line, a flicker, everything that might be off, and trying to get those back into order and looking good.
Master of stray vertices right here.
Yes, 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 I am.
Yeah, it looks man, the inside of it looks good. I've scoped the outside. The interior is awesome. Now you've got this little ship in here. What's this guy?
That's one of Razi's ships. That's what won the Build Your Legacy contest. I believe the one that NQ has changed slightly from the original, but that's the first one that he put together in release, and he gave it to me.
Nice.
I was just looking for ships that would fit in here.
Yeah, well, it fits nice. I like the graphic on the floor here.
The Scarab.
Got an amazing ship. So point me to the bridge, good sir. Let's see what you've got.
Elevator
up there.
at the end of the hall.
Oh, the sign says bridge. How about that? Oh, wow. Look at this place. Wow. There you go.
I may or may not be responsible for Drax's gold addiction.
I love it. I love it. I don't know if you guys have seen. I'm out there on Sakari. I'm bathing in it. Let's go. I love the gold. Yeah, this is awesome. And what a great way, because you know I love this clean look. All your ships, I feel like, have this really clean look, and I love how you use the wood, but then the transition right into this gold. You know, you go from the clean to the gold almost seamlessly. This is awesome. Really nice.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
I like speed running Drax's ships and finding all the stray vertices.
There's a room behind that wall as well. I don't know if you noticed, it's kind of hidden.
Ooh,
but that's just
right.
the green room, greenhouse.
I like. Oh wow.
And this is why Drax always gets crap for me. There's like 100 plants in there, and I guarantee you he's tried to use every plant in game.
I love this. Oh my.
It don't cost anything to make, but man, when you have to deploy one of those,
just don't crash it, right?
No, that's why we have maintenance units.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Is your snapshot up to date?
Yes,
I actually do my snapshots right before I do the maintenance unit, because I actually found out the hard way. It wiped my data banks and my chair.
Oh man. Well,
I was told that's a very deep dedication. They're like, wait, because when they first read it, it was like, that's cool, and then they're like, that's really deep.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, yeah, it is. You know, it makes
I personally really liked it. Really nice.
Very cool. Oh, there we
There
go.
is a typo on your sign though.
Probably. If anyone's ever chatted to me in text, they know that I suck at it. A lot of people actually
Just warning you.
like this door. They really like the door, the design of the door and stuff. Yeah, this is
Wow. Just
So how many hours you got in this ship?
month
Working
and a
on
half now at this point.
Month and a half.
So it only took me 3 days to lay down the body, the shell.
There's a lot
Just
going
do
on.
The basic body. The detail is what takes the longest. Is doing detail work. Because there's just so much of it, and it is a multi-core.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How many what's going on? You got a large and a couple mediums, or how's it shaking out?
One large, one medium.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
nose is a large.
Oh, you got it down to 1 medium? Thought there was
Yep.
going to be 2.
There was almost going to be. I decided not to, because one was going to be hard enough, let alone 2.
Someone gave him crap for multi-core. May have
Yeah.
been Honjo.
Hey, you know, it's a good looking ship. I'm multi-cores make me nervous, but
Yes.
to look at, it's stress free for me to go look and admire them, right? So
Mhm.
I'm a fan, and I gotta tell you, I'm not a PvPer, right? But these look like weapons, and I totally had to come out of my I had to turn my UI back on just to make sure that this was all voxel work here. Just
I know. I
letting
was
you know
watching
that.
your stream. That's
Yeah, I was
talking.
like,
You
is
look
that-
like I like. Just realized it wasn't the gun.
making sure, just making sure. But it fooled me, man. I had to turn it on. So that's awesome. I love it.
That's Van Hertz work. I was like, I don't want to put guns on this because I don't want people ever taking us to PvP or PvE. He's like,
Yeah.
we'll do
I put
voxel
guns
guns.
on things all the time that have never left Alios.
We'll do voxel guns. I'm like, okay.
Well, they look good. They look real good. Yeah. You shouldn't dare take this out to PvP space.
This isn't a ship. This is a hotel that flies from time to
Yeah.
time. I mean,
Yeah, yes, it is.
Does it have enough container capacity for me to do deliveries tracks?
I don't know. It only has
One of the ongoing jokes in beta was I used my Captain's Custom Nautilus for deliveries.
Really,
I think it's gonna have
really awesome.
10 L containers. I think it is, or maybe 8 L containers.
I can make that work.
Good stuff, man. Yeah, this place is awesome. You know, so tell me this, Drax. The fly-ins. What goes on to get ready for one of those? Tell me about your experience with the fly-ins here. Have you found it to be pretty fun? Is it tough? Is it hard
I've
work? Tell
enjoyed
me about it. Yeah.
I like doing fly-ins. They are mentally draining because the amount of work it takes to going into them. First step to any fly-in is to talk to Honjo, because Honjo is usually bankrolls most of the fly-ins.
The other
So-
problem is someone likes to procrastinate.
Yes, I
Don't
do.
we all? Don't we all?
Yes, we do.
I need to
But,
hire
yeah.
an event planner for Drax.
I was just gonna say I would procrastinate, but I just never get there.
Yeah, we just come up with a theme and really trying to come up with something that's not conflicting with someone else's things. Like there's a birthday, the 27th of September, the birthday thing's coming up, and I really didn't want to do an event, but I wanted to see if anybody else was doing it. And I actually don't know who's doing it yet. I think Ryan might be doing one, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
But yeah, we just try to put something together and then figure out what events we want to try to hold, and then prizes for the events. But
Well, they've all been really, really fun. I like this area is really cool. Did you have this in mind? You know, I know a lot of folks had something in mind when launch happened. Was this a place you just kind of found, or did you know this was kind of what you were looking for? This type of, like, this mountain, like, you seem to be in this horseshoe, right, of this mountain range.
Valley, yeah. I built here in beta.
Okay.
Day one beta, when we first came over here from Haven, I landed right where that tower is, the tower in the middle, and claimed the tile there and built there. And then release came by, and everyone in in beta, a lot of the other people, like what is Clat now, which is Angry Dad and Dank Knight,
Yeah.
and a bunch of other people are all like, we're gonna try to get tiles near each other. And we're like, okay, so whoever gets on the planet first, put your cords in so we can try to get together in the same area. I'm like, okay, so I was one of the first people here, and the first person in that group. And I was like, District 6 was starting to get cleaned. It was blocked up pretty quick by other people, and I was like, I'm not living near District 6. I know a lot of people would want to, but I don't want to because it's going to get laggy quick. So I came back over here, and I was like, oh, it's a valley, and I don't have to worry about anybody crashing into any of my things because they got to clear a mountain first. So
Yeah, he crashes everything.
well, I crash, but they don't crash. They usually hit the mountain before they hit anything in here. But it's just a nice area.
It is nice. In a little bit of irony, I crashed a couple of tiles in front of this base at the direction I'm looking towards Sanctuary there. I crashed in front of here a couple of weeks ago. My large hauler. Yeah, I was taking off, and one of my space engines, apparently, you know how you get the thing where it's like, hey, it's been deactivated?
Yeah.
I got hit with one of those, and I was pretty heavy, and started dropping like a rock. And because it was fine-tuned to get out with I'm min-maxing a little bit there, and so that one engine not firing, dropped like a rock, and spent a couple hours, out in front of this area. But I did take in the scenery. It was nice, at least, the sun was out. It's nice.
Should have messaged me. I would have come over and help you repair your stuff.
Oh, it's all good. I had to scrap, and it was just a matter of coming out here. But yeah, it was what are you gonna do? I'm also one of those players who crash often. It seems like, and I'm okay with that. I'm doing my part to keep the market alive.
This is the new one that we're working on.
So you're keeping the same vibe, I see.
Yeah, I stole the idea from the top for this.
Oh, so this ship is looking real good on the inside, I see too.
Try to put it down for you so we can get to the ground. There you go.
Hey, NQ-Nyota, by the way, I see you in chat. Welcome in. Happy Thursday night. Kippo again.
NQ-Nyota the Scorpion to fight against Shamsy.
The Scorpion?
Yeah.
Yeah, when's that fight going down? NQ-Nyota, by the way. We need to promote that, advertise it. We need like a poster. Have both you guys in boxing gloves or something.
Battle of the Century. The Cookie Queen.
No, it's got to be Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Okay.
Oh.
There you go.
Except with a Novian head.
Yeah, okay. And
you may recognize the picture at the very end. NQ-Nyota might recognize above the bar on the far left.
Oh yeah,
left one.
A cat in a hat. I've heard these things happen.
It's a goober. It's a goober. That's the name of the cat is Goober.
It is Goober.
That's NQ-Nyota's cat.
I presume that was around Halloween, or it could have been just a random Wednesday or something. You never know.
It'd be year round.
Yeah,
Year round. Every day.
Every day is a good day to dress a cat as a witch. Yeah, that's the bridge I'm working on, trying to clean it up.
I like it, man. That's just amazing how quickly you can churn out ships This thing's looking gorgeous on the inside. Very, very
It's
luxurious.
only 4 days.
Voice sounds.
Only 4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only 4 days.
I feel like I'm talking to Junkai. Tell him
I
I
want
need a
old
ship
school.
with like 20 kiloton lift capacity, and a day and a half later, oh, it's done.
I don't know if how many
Yes.
people lived in like the 90s, but in the 90s we had speakers that were like insanely tall speakers.
Oh yeah, yeah. The entertainment center. You know.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I want the big tall speakers in here.
Yeah, this is awesome. This is really well done. I love this this room
Drack,
right here.
Are you putting my cat in all of your ships now?
Pretty much. Goober makes an appearance in most ships at this point.
That's awesome.
Like I'm sure people have heard the term Easter eggs. Well, Goober is an Easter egg in most of my builds anymore. It's usually in a
that's
small
sweet.
sign hidden somewhere where you can't even see it.
Does that mean I
and
have
it's
to
just
get
like-
you more pictures of her in hats? Because it's kind of an addiction, but yeah.
Like at this point, it's gonna be like people are gonna come to my showroom and be like, spot the Goober. How many Goobers can you find in the ships in the showroom?
Oh, don't
And
even. You know
with
that
a
could be
sign-
a contest, right? You
the
know that
sign
could be
that says
an
how
I was
event.
going to
There
say
is.
that sounds like there's going to be a contest.
Find the goober. I mean, would that be a little bit too vain on my part because it's my cat?
We can do a tower climb at my base, and you have to find the number of goobers on the way up.
Like
This all sounds
your
very
your
good.
kitty, Ori's kitties, kitty. Just put them all on there and just like, all right, can you find the kitties?
So you're telling me I need to make a form to people to submit their cats, so that we could have a scavenger hunt for cats.
Is there a National Cat Day? We got this.
Well, I mean,
There is.
that's what the internet.
We just missed International Cat Day, man.
This has
Like
gotta be
2
on.
weeks
I mean,
ago.
the internet is for cats. I mean, we figured that out some time ago. So
Well, you know, I guess I guess we have to be fair to those that like dogs too, and
Well-
hamsters for that matter, right?
That's what I got as a dog. I got a little fuzzy guy. He's sleeping on my lap right now.
So yeah, now you're giving me ideas. Thanks. Thanks. Find
mean,
the goober.
That's what it was. Like a lot of
Told
people
you,
go-
we're the idea people.
Are you
It wasn't
goober
too long
enough?
ago. Someone pointed out there was like, is that like an? They're looking at found something. They're like, is that an Easter egg? And I'm like, yes. You're one of the first people to ever notice that there's Easter eggs in my ships, in my builds, and there's a
It
few
used to be
inside of-
single voxels of gold and Lumi.
Yes, it was. It used to be just a Lumi glass and random voxel someplace. Like in one of my builds, there's just a single nanoscopic voxel of green plastic, and it pissed people off to no end because they were hunting for this damn green plastic. And I'm like, it's in there. Trust me, it's in there. Like we know it's in there. We can see it on the blueprint. And they couldn't replace it at the time. Now they can, but I was like, well, now I got to put something in there that they can't replace easily without being like, I want it to be its original. So yeah,
Okay, so don't ever put screens or signs in when it's
yes.
on the ship. Just uncheck that box.
So
Like,
there's a cat in the Eye of Ra already.
Yes.
There you go. For anybody interested.
There is a goober in
Is-
there.
It's
Makes
just the
sense.
name, isn't it? Right, Drax? It's the name of my cat.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense that there's a cat in an Egyptian style ship.
That's very
Let's
true.
say.
If there
Well,
was a
Goober's
ship,
in my ship. Goober's
Well,
in my
in the-
ship too. So I don't know.
There's we can
yeah.
actually name these goober here. Come on in here, Swerve. We'll name these goobers.
Because it's Nyota's ship. Can you have a Nyota without a goober?
No, none of that.
Go up to the bridge, and then go down the stairs.
We have to have someone make a robo goober. Maybe Van Herk could do it. He did the robo dog.
Yeah, Robo Liam. So inside here, this is Ra's quarters,
oh, very nice.
and then we can make these goober statues. The golden goobers.
Oh, look at that.
The golden goobers.
Oh wow, look at this place.
That's so wrong, but
The
so
golden
right.
goobers. So wrong, but so right. Yeah.
As polished white gold.
That is spectacular.
If I woke up next to that,
The golden goobers.
I would check. I would double check my medications the next
Nyota
morning.
now wants a 3D printed golden goober.
Yeah. I do.
I'm just gonna tell you, if I'm waking up to a 6-foot statue of a golden cat, I must be living right. Honestly, I mean,
A solid gold cat.
yeah, ridiculous.
That or you found yourself out front of a restaurant.
Who did the design for the kitty cat? For the golden goober?
I actually don't know. I got it in someone's kit from Ginger's. Ginger's
Oh, wow.
kit, and it was someone's like decoration kit. I forget who it was though. They made the bed as well.
It reminds me of what's the place that we always go visit on the tour with all of the... Is it Dolphin Cove? Where is it? I can't remember which
Might
one
have
it is.
been. I'll have to find out for you that way I can let you know.
Dolphin Cove has a lot of statues.
Yeah.
things.
That's what I was thinking. The
I'm not
statue
showing you
place.
guys the sign and the goober sign in the picture in this one. That way, I'll leave it to people's determination to actually find all the goobers.
To find all the goobers. I like that as a contest personally, but I might be a little bit, biased. on
Partial
that.
to the idea.
Yeah, a little partial on it, but I think that would be kind of funny.
Like an Easter egg hunt.
Yeah.
A goober hunt. The golden goober hunt. Yeah. Why do you give me these ideas?
Because I
Because-
like giving you problems that you have to find solutions.
I liked the idea, so I made it. So I actually came up with it. Now you're taking to mainstream at this point. The golden goober hunt.
We need to put it on the anniversary event. That's what we need. We need a golden goober hunt.
Well, the other thing too, Nyota, is we absolutely love that sound of desperation in your voice as you try and come up with reasons to not do it. So,
On
Hey,
the
man,
other hand, I
The
value.
world is mine, right? I try to do as much as I can. I like that though. I think it's fun. I really enjoy doing scavenger hunts.
Yeah.
So any way we can incorporate it. If we have to use goober as an excuse, I mean, how can I refuse? But yeah.
And at the end, you win golden fireworks.
More fireworks. People are gonna take my head off for that. But yeah.
There's the only way to get them is through events. That's the only way to get them. You can't craft them.
Didn't you get enough of them in the exchange
No.
event? Oh my goodness.
No, I need more.
I didn't see any complaints about that, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah,
I want
nobody
to
complained.
launch. I want to launch fireworks daily from my space station.
Gotcha.
I need 360,000 fireworks
For what?
to launch
So Honjo can
1,000.
steal them
To
from
launch
him.
1,000 fireworks for every day, and a TU has been out. So it's been out.
Oh my
it'll be out
goodness.
360 days, 365 days. So 365.
I hope that's automated, because that's a lot of clicking.
Well, I figure if I click out, I click 100, and then AK clicks 100.
So what are you going to do?
Oh,
Have a
man.
stream where you're just clicking
Been
fireworks
recruited.
all day long?
I'm just going to say, if that's something that can be done by a programming board, you just give me a call. I'll set it up for you.
See? I don't
I have
know.
1,000 fireworks launchers sitting in my factory.
Oh gosh, you're
You
ready.
may need to.
There's also
do you guys
1,000
have
in
a
the
favorite?
store.
Favorite
I
favorite fireworks color? Anybody? Somebody
Gold.
say purple because, well, I'm here. But
Gold.
of course, yeah. Honjo would say gold. Anybody else?
Green.
Is there an obsidian one?
Do green?
I mean, I'm a huge fan of red and blue. Can't go wrong with those colors.
Yeah, same. I like the red.
The
The green is nice too because it's one of the rarest. But
I mean, you did make a good point that there are no, you can't make your own fireworks, right? And we have a whole bunch of different kind of shapes and so forth. So
Strider
Just
likes
make-
blue.
Just make them require sulfur so I can get rid of some of the sulfur.
that would be nice, like sulfur and natron or something like that.
you're gonna blow your face off. That's what you're gonna do.
That's fine. If I do it on stream, it'll even be better.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's content creation, you see. So.
Yeah, I see that. The golden goober is gonna stick with me now. Damn you guys. And my goober.
Now we just need to get
juice.
someone to make it an L core.
Yeah.
So now she's got to
Ooh,
give me
yeah.
build rights to her Nyota so I can go put a golden goober in the Nyota.
Yeah, you
And
do
her
need
ship
to.
over here.
Yeah, you need to, make it even better. And Goober does say hi. She just woke up from her lovely nap, and she's just like, hi,
On the
everybody."
Nyota, it should be the hood ornament.
Yes, it should be the horde ornament up front of the ship.
With as much as I take out the Nyota, you can put
Never.
it as a hood. Yeah, as a hood. Again, I don't have anywhere to put it.
It's been here for 6 months.
Yeah.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, it has. I feel
Wow.
guilty. It's taking up spot on his territory, and I'm like,
I don't mind.
"Aw."
I don't
But
care.
I just don't know where to put it.
I told her she should turn it over to her private character.
Yeah.
No, what
Yeah.
she should do is turn it over to Ophelia and park it at one of the markets.
That would probably work too.
You want Ophelia to sell my ship? What?
No.
No.
Just figure if
No.
Ophelia owns it, it won't get hit by the inactive
That's true.
press.
Oh yeah. The countdown timer might be free of that one. Yeah. Yeah. No. I've been wanting to actually make a Nyota tile territory. Time is running out for that, but I've been trying, and then park it there, happily. So maybe.
Nice.
At the end of the day, you could always do it. Put it at the museum as well, right? There's always a spot you could do
Yeah,
it.
but it's mine.
It's your ship. That's the thing.
Yeah, no, nah.
No, that's when you go into the museum and yoink it.
Yeah.
It's like it disappeared from the museum. There was a robbery. Find out who stole it.
But it's fine where it is. It doesn't bother me. It's out of the way. People every so often people see it and they're like, "Wait, Nyota still hasn't taken it?" I'm like, yeah, we're counting the days at this point.
Does it help you sell it? Maybe. I haven't seen it anywhere else except on your territory.
A lot
So-
of people actually do have them.
Yeah, this is
Um,
pretty
Are
popular.
they not? Is it like
Hippo flies
the
in all
eggs?
the
They
time.
just place them somewhere and go, "Oh, it's a ship, and I'm gonna keep it in my corner over here because it's cool. Like a luxury car.
Yeah.
In the
They
Great
get
I
Wall.
drove
you
my
are-
luxury car. Got me in a lot of trouble
Because I haven't seen
expensive to
it
repair.
anywhere.
quite a
It's
few
not become
people
a
out there
common
that have
car. How's that? Has not become a common ship. What is what's the ships that you have sold the most, Drax?
The ship that sold the most.
Uh-huh.
Like quantity or like quanta value? Because I'm guessing wind chill quanta
Quantity.
value.
Let's just say quantity. I don't want to go into quanta.
Probably the Falcon would be the one I sold the absolute most of.
This is your top seller.
Yeah,
That's
I would
top
say
dollar.
it's either that or one of the warp shuttles.
The
One of the
Falcon, I
smaller
think there's-
ones.
I think at the moment the Falcon's been like 30 or 40 of them have sold,
Nice.
and another like 20 has been given away. After that would be
This is why Drax runs out of money.
yeah, I give away a lot of stuff.
He's giving away 30% of possible income.
I did. Yep. Can't help it. Look at the insanity that he's looking at right now. My goodness.
What
Yeah,
am I looking at?
yeah. So I'm out here at Honjo's space station, and Honjo, you want to tell us what you've got going on out here? So this thing's massive. First, if you can't tell, I mean, it's hard to even get in to the screen.
It's currently 9 cores across what you're looking at and 5 deep.
There you go.
And what I'm building is a 1-to-1 representation of a city ship from a show called Stargate Atlantis.
Very nice. Now, how?
That is spectacular as a project because those things are massive.
Yes. So how are you doing that? Are you how are
I've got a
you trying to
3D
scale it?
model,
Okay.
and the scale based off of everything I can find online is somewhere between 3 and 4 kilometers long. Currently, with the model I'm using, I think I'm at 3.2 kilometers.
Wow.
Because if you look at the strip down the center there, is the full length of the ship where the other pier ends. So it has
Wow.
6 piers, but 3 and 3 are copies. So that one is going to be copied to 2 other piers, and the other end will be copied 2 more times via blueprints.
Incredible. Now, how long have you been working on this thing?
Week and a half, 2 weeks.
Wow. And what do you think? So this, man, 1-to-1 scale is massive. What's the timeline look like for you?
I would guess for the main structure, probably 3 months. And then probably another week or 2 to blueprint and line up all the blueprints.
Wow.
I have a silly question. May I ask a silly question? And it's not about your well, it's not about directly your thing, Hanjo, your station. I'm gonna ask a silly question. Has anybody ever in DU throughout all the ages of time, have they ever made like a exercise field or like an obstacle course that you don't use a ship with?
Like
Obstacle course
Avatar?
kind of. Swervin made the glass
The
maze.
maze, that's it's kind of an obstacle course. I'm fully aware of that one. But I'm thinking more like open space, you know, like even if it's not functional, a racetrack for runners.
I do know of a place in Nitro City right next to Booty's Bull Arena, and the name's escaping me who was making it, but they were making like a parkour course inside this arena. The arena's constructed, and there's something going on in there. I don't know if it got completed, but that's a place I know that was trying to make some Avatar obstacle course for sure.
It
The
was just a
struggle there
random,
is you got to
just a
do it in
random.
VR to be fair. You
Yep.
got to have all talents
I mean,
disabled.
again, yeah, for functional, I can imagine, but the fact of building it, I would think it would be an interesting for folks that like to build huge areas, not just ships, terraform it and make a track, racetrack for humanoids instead of ships. Or something like that, or an obstacle course. I don't know how the racing would work with that. If you would get some, but I bet there's a way.
Track and
There's a
field
way.
wouldn't be terribly hard. You're
Yeah,
doing an oval.
yeah, like yeah, you're right on the right track. I have no words. It's late. The thingies, the things that you jump over, hurdles.
Yeah,
Hurdles.
the hurdles wouldn't be too hard to do, honestly.
It would be fun to
Uh,
see that. I would like to see it, even if it's not terribly functional. I mean, because it'd be hard to do.
you
VR might
could
be a solution, but
you can make a few of them XS constructs so they can bounce off the top of them if they hit them.
Mm.
it was just a random thought. I was like, you guys were here before I was, so maybe you knew of something that was already built. Maybe I'm onto something. Maybe something can be
Yeah,
built now.
sounds like we're cooking up the DU Olympics.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Track and
I
field.
own like 90 tiles between my base and Market 5 that are all HQ'd. We could flatten them all and do whatever.
I was actually just thinking because one thing that's for the hurdles that'd be just dirt easy to do is just use force fields because the different force fields they're all the same length but they're all different widths. That's what so
And you can set the length now.
You can
so-
set the
Yeah.
length, yeah.
Yeah, so it wouldn't. Well, yeah, to a limit, but it wouldn't be that hard. Just to do something kind of space age looking. Instead of the old frame style hurdles, use for the force field projectors turned on their side, lasers for some things. I mean, the hard part, honestly, I don't think the hard part's building it. I think the hard part's making it fun.
Well, you could actually use detection zones, programming boards, and emitters and randomize the force field activations from under the voxel.
Yeah, okay. You're right. That would be interesting, because then no one would get the same course. You wouldn't get the same course twice. So that would be interesting, yeah.
I mean, you could do rock climbing, make a wall, you have to jump it, scale it like Spider-Man, I don't know, I'm all over the place, aren't I? Sorry guys for giving you ideas.
I've already done that with Swervin's place. I found Swervin's place by accident, and all he had was the security room at the bottom and stilts, and I climbed up the sides to get all the way up.
Yeah, I provided content for Honjo. That's crazy,
like,
though,
what's
that you scaled the
this?
whole thing. That's crazy, man.
Took me about 90 minutes.
Wow.
Because yours is like straight vertical up.
That's
That
wild.
would be fun. It would be interesting to have like great outdoors kind of race instead of indoors,
Yeah. Dual Universe, the awesome game where no one
Make a big
have
tunnel.
too much time on their hands.
Make tunnel under the ground, and you have to run the course. Who gets out first?
I actually have a plan to build a really big tunnel from my base to Market 5.
Yeah.
Gosh.
That's why I own like 90 tiles that are HQ'd.
Make some sweet underground highway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was going to be that, and
I wasn't going so far as that. I was like, wouldn't it be kind of cool to have like an underground course, and have forks in the road, in the tunnel, not the road, the tunnel, and you have to find your way out, but you're underground, so you're stuck there. Yeah, okay, I'm getting kind of cruel here. Sorry.
no, there's definitely plenty of mountain range for me to do that. It's one of the reasons why I picked the spot I did when I came back to the game. I was like, I want a mountain range where I can build stuff underground. That's crazy, like.
It's a French word when you made an obstacle racetrack with sliding doors and detection. So
Orb, you gotta give us some details on that, man. We need to check that out.
Underground, yes. I mean, who was it that made the pyramid obstacle? Was that you, AK?
No, I made a pyramid, but I didn't have an obstacle course. I didn't, but I have thought about making a platform jumper, in one of these various buildings.
Parkour challenge.
Yeah, but this is it actually is very interesting that this isn't a thing so much. I'm sure folks have made courses maybe for themselves. Actimist has a bit of a quest line actually set up at his base, and one of the things is you have to kind of scale his building. So I've seen some elements of it, but yeah, I'm actually surprised we haven't seen more of that type. So yeah, I've definitely got my brain going about what I could do with some track and field style.
I've done races
events.
up the side of my tower.
Yeah,
on that outside black strip.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because it's not flat, it's actually tapered to make you fall off easier.
Now that I've sparked some ideas in you guys, I've done my duty tonight.
You did good.
It's all Goober's fault. That's all there is to it. The golden Goober got me started. It's actually Drax's fault.
Always Drax's fault.
I'll accept it.
Yeah. I think it's fair to give him a percentage of this.
It's payback. Drax wants to get back at me for making him make a robot on stream that one time. He's been waiting. He's been waiting for his chance when I twisted his arm and I said, "You can do it." And he was complaining the whole way. It was so funny.
Let me tell you. So I'm watching him, and I'm watching him make this thing, and I remember thinking, okay, I can make a robot. I was actually heading out of town. I was like, I got a couple of days, and I'll put together a robot, And then I saw him making his robot, and I was like, I'm not gonna do it because his was so good.
I was fall.
yours was pretty good, and going out there and looking at the entire thing, it was wild. So I say I'm not gonna do it because I didn't have I was gonna try to throw something together, but man, those submissions were awesome. But I will
Don't do
say,
that.
well,
Don't do
no.
that to yourself, Swervin. Wait, I'm gonna lecture you. Let me
Okay,
tell you
okay,
this. Like
all right.
I have to step in. A lot of people, because we have the expert voxels, hi Drax, and we have these people that are so awesome with their voxelmancy, and it's amazing. Don't let them discourage you. You know what I've found is that this is coming from me, and all of you guys probably know by now, I am no voxel expert, but I'm having fun playing with them. And just because, Drax or a lot of other players are super awesome at it and they make these wonderfully smooth, crisp things, right, that you can't even imagine. Sometimes you come up with stuff and you go, wow, that's really cool. And it looks neat, and you never know. It's just a stepping stone to the next part, right? So don't let it discourage you. I know it's hard when you have all these experts out there making robots
That's a fair
or
point.
things like that,
That's a fair point. So because of that, me and Leeroy have signed up. There's this pumpkin carving contest coming up, and I just know it's going to be incredible. But we're just going to go ahead and make some, because you're right, Nyota. All the things you just said, it is fun to do it. It is fun to put something together. So I hate that I shied away from that. But Drax, your stuff was incredible. Just putting together a robot, and everybody's submissions were great, man. Obviously Van Hurt with the Liam bot. Is that what that thing was? That thing was pretty cool. There was a lot. It was just amazing.
It was very from that was the first build contest that we've held that we've limited what you can use. And I thought for sure people were going to skin me alive. Because I was warned, a couple of my coworkers were like, no, you cannot stop them from using what they want to use. It's a building game. And I was like, no, you don't understand. I've had art courses before. It pushes your limit. You can only use this many of this object and whatever. And suddenly your brain starts, okay, so how can I use this? What can I do here? And I was super amazed and surprised at the crazy good submissions that came in. I was really, again, I was expecting a lot of complaints, quite honestly. Maybe a little whining. Drax did a little of that.
That's a standard state of being. You're fine.
Ouch.
Wow.
Shots fired.
Yeah, remind me to step out of the way when you're firing that there, Honjo.
I don't shoot. I drive buses. Occasionally Drax's ships.
Yeah, but in all honesty, when I saw the submissions coming in, I was crazy good, and the voting was actually real. It was NQ people. I created a survey with all of our NQ folks and got everybody to get voted as to what their favorite one was and everything. And they were actually, what the funny part was, as you guys know, I'm in North America and many of my coworkers are overseas. So I put the survey up at like an evening time, my time, usually around this time when I get my work done. and by morning when I hopped on, they were all arguing with each other. No, this one's better. No, come on, you have to have this one. And I thought it was amazing. I was like, man, I should capture this chat and share it with everybody because you guys would have gotten a kick out of it. They were enthusiastic about, and they're like, who's winning? Who's winning? They really wanted to know. It became a competition. So I was pretty proud of that.
I understand that mentality too well, being a worldwide company.
Well, thank you for sharing with us, actually, Nyota.
Yeah.
Because when you're like I'm, kind of like you, I'm no voxelmancer whatsoever. But it's cool to know that we're doing stuff that's making the developers enthusiastic. Like, it's what it's kind of like the inversion of the usual paradigm that people would expect, right? Where as the players, we're supposed to be enthusiastic about what you're doing. So it's just really cool to hear stories where what we're hearing is the players are doing things that are making the developers and the support team enthusiastic. I just love that. I think that's great.
Absolutely.
The world is ours to create, right? So the developers really do appreciate seeing what is out there and what you guys come up with, and random ideas like I just had. I was like, why don't we have an obstacle course for humans? And now somebody out there somewhere, I probably in a couple weeks, they're like, remember you were talking, and I was like, what was I saying? And I don't remember. And yeah, so I hope somebody does it. I think it would be amazing. Or an underground tunnel race. I'd love to see something like that. I'd participate.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys,
But build contests are also very popular, and
we love to build. And we love to talk about DU, and we have just sailed right by that hour. So just want you guys to know, I appreciate you guys being on here.
you kicking us out, Swervin?
I'm not. I'm saying, hey, this is, I'll consider this overtime. And our, Drax.
I think the
Honjo,
reality
902.
is, I think the reality is that you haven't hit. This will be the third week of 3. That would be a 100% of the time that this has been a 2-hour podcast. I don't think you have a 1-hour podcast. I think you have a 2-hour podcast that you misunderstand as a 1-hour podcast.
I hear that.
I think he might be accurate on that one.
Well,
Now that we're
that's a
at
good
week
thing.
3, we're at week 3. Aren't we missing somebody like Leeroy?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, Leeroy is not with us tonight, but he has. You know what? He's got something that's pretty cool. He's been working on, and so I look forward to seeing him back coming up soon. But
Nice.
yeah. But he's been in communications with me and 902, so he's out there somewhere. Probably got tied up.
No worries. Just asking.
Yeah. Well, I will say this, guys out there listening. So, we have been getting some feedback, and through where we posted on YouTube and via Discord. So I appreciate the feedback. Keep it coming. Feel free to reach out if there's something you want to see us talk about. Let us know. And I will say this, guys, we haven't talked about some listeners' favorite topic. Some of our listeners really like to hear us talk about ideas around DU from a development standpoint. But we've also gotten the same amount of feedback that people really enjoy exactly what we're talking about, kind of just dreaming up the next thing that the creator can go out there and do, like an obstacle course or like running the maze back or building a cool ship. So it's been cool to get that feedback. You guys keep sending it. It really helps us understand what you guys like to hear about. So yeah, with that being said, we could kind of get back into it. Where were we at, guys?
Me driving a bus over Drax.
Or
yeah.
Goober. I'm pretty sure it was also
there was
Goober,
a golden
too.
goober in there somewhere.
Yeah, we can't forget that. And I feel like that's got to be, that will never not be a thing now, I think, from this day forward. So
Golden goober.
How many more of these we got before the 27th?
Let's see.
Well, if we're doing them weekly, months
Okay,
worth.
then.
So.
All right, yeah, we got.
Well, I will say this, at least weekly. That's another thing that we understand. Thursday night really works well for the American audience, not so much for some folks who maybe they've got to work on Thursday, or maybe they're across the globe, and so we might actually slide more than one a week in there, or move a Thursday to a Saturday. So just throwing that out there. We might actually have more than one a week, but
I I say give it a go. I would say try to, if you can, give it a tryout for Saturdays, perhaps earlier North American time in the day. I make no guarantees. I'm not promising to show up, but at the same time, it might bring a lot of our Europeans and others. Maybe not Australia. Australia's
Yeah,
always messed
that's
up on the
13.
time. Yeah.
They're 13. You know, between it's either 11 and 13, or it's 12 and 14 hours because they got 3 time zones there.
Yeah.
But I can't remember which way it works. But it's around 13 hours difference. So noon here is midnight there, and so that sort of discussion. But the other
Midnight
thing
on a Saturday night isn't such a big, isn't
yeah,
too bad,
exactly.
right? So
Particularly a lot of the gaming crowd over in the Anzac area are very much used to basically having to accustomate themselves to North America or European gaming times. So I have gamed with several friends I have down over there who just routinely set their alarm clocks for 6 a.m., get up, game for 2 hours so they can hang out with their clan or whatever. They go back, they get a 2-hour nap, and then they head into work. That's just the way they do stuff. So.
It's a nice start to a day.
it'd be nice to see that. Give it a try, Swervin, if you
I think we
have
will.
the capacity to do so.
We're gonna be intentional about getting a Saturday one in there coming real soon. I don't know about this Saturday. I wouldn't rule it out.
Just get the word out there so people know.
Yeah. Just and keep me posted if you're heading there. I'm Saturday mornings. I'm up fairly early, so I could certainly be here for you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it looks like this Saturday might actually be the race at Wicked Wonderland. So
yeah, that's at 4 or 5 in the afternoon though.
Yeah. So
and they only run for about 2 hours.
Might actually yeah, let me think about that. But we're gonna do a Saturday one soon for sure. If it's not this weekend, it's next weekend to get some European guys or anybody that works out for them better than Thursday night. But anyway, yeah, for you guys that have shown up every Thursday, I really appreciate it. This is awesome. Hanging out and talking about DU, and for you guys hanging out in chat, hey, this I would say, it's kind of a ask me anything mode. If you guys want to fire something out there, I wouldn't mind talking about whatever questions you guys might have, and I'll ask you guys that are hanging out with us, Honjo, Drax, Nyota, 902. You guys got anything? Got any topic of interest that's
I'll bring something up just and it's not serious or anything like that. So as you guys know, you mentioned it a couple of times, the egg tour that we had, and then we had the Christmassy tour. We do a tour every couple months. We'll be doing a tour hopefully for the anniversary, of course, because we have to see all the great creations that over a year. How busy you guys have all been. So it should be pretty awesome to celebrate that. The question I have is, since this stream here looks like it's more of a North American time stream, because right now it would be 4 a.m. in Europe, so chances are there's let's say less people. What day and times are good for people to have a tour? Because it makes me sad when I try to have like a daily tour and different times, but there's only so much I can do. I can't have it at 4 a.m. so that it's specific to one person who lives in Australia, who's 15 hours ahead of me, who works on the weekends and is only available on Thursdays and really wants to go. That's a little more specific than I'm looking for, but I'm looking for actually specific times. Is it better afternoons, North America time, Pacific time, Eastern time, Atlantic time, for that matter? What is there a time that's better for anybody out there that's listening?
Yeah, let us know. I gotta tell you, I really like the Saturday morning stream. For me, that was awesome. That worked out beautifully. So there's my 2 cents. I appreciate that you guys did 7 days of tours. I think with the intention to try to accommodate as many people as possible. So
Yeah,
I really appreciate you guys being intentional about trying to incorporate as many players as possible, and I think it's awesome. You continue to look for feedback. So guys, this is your chance. If you've got a specific
and if you don't know right now, you're welcome to ping me on Discord or something like that, and let me know if there's a specific. Look, this is a no-go zone. I'm never available before 8 o'clock Pacific time, which is 11 o'clock my time, which makes it a little more difficult. But sleep is for the weak. So
It is.
Sleep is a perfectly poor substitute for coffee.
I agree completely. So. So yeah, if there's anything, you guys in this stream is so Saturday. Obviously, for Swervin it was a good time for a stream. You guys, do you have any specific times that you would prefer? Cooper, get down. Sorry.
Saturdays and Sundays are the only 2 days I stream anymore, but that's because time does not allow it during the week.
You don't have to stream it. You can
No,
just
I know.
show up.
But as far as the best time that I see activity from the Europeans is generally on my Saturday mornings is when I see a lot of Europeans on my stream.
Yeah, I was just actually thinking the same things because for the longest time I was actually streaming this time slot. And the European crowd are on 3 o'clock in the afternoon to at Eastern time. They're about 3 o'clock to about 7 o'clock because that's just after they've gotten home, had supper, and what have you, right? And that's when I see a lot of the European crowd on. And then you get a bit of a dead zone, and then the Pacific, and then East Coast comes online, the Pacific Coast comes online. So, yeah.
Yeah, the idea is just try to get as many people involved. I know that I call them, and I say this lovingly, guys. I know that there are, and Drax, you're one of them, like repeat offenders. You're on every stream, every tour we have, and it's amazing. I think it's incredible. The everybody wants to see what's out there and see where we're gonna go next and everything like that. I think it's awesome, but at the same time, I know that for some people, their time is limited, so they don't have the opportunity to be available whenever there's a tour all of a sudden. So just trying to open it up out there, that discussion, because it makes me kind of sad. I have a sad teary-eyed moment when I hear people saying, oh man, I really wanted to go to the tour, but I can't make it because I'm working, or why can't you have it at a different time? Or so I'm just putting this out there now before we get a schedule together. Whatever we can do.
Does NQ usually stream those?
We usually stream one of them.
Okay.
We'll probably stream like the opening one. We've done that in the past. I can't guarantee we'll be doing it, but we usually do. So we'll probably end up streaming that. But usually we ask our lovely content creators like Swervin and Drax and you, Honjo, and whoever, everybody in this chat, actually, hi, and ask if you are available to stream. The more we get it out there, the more we're showcasing it. Last time it was very successful with that. We had every tour we did, one person at least was streaming. It made me kind of lose a little bit of hair because I was going from stream to stream to stream, but that's okay. I had many voices in my head, and I felt like I had some, personality disorder maybe, but yeah.
Welcome to my daily life. I mean,
So, but it was nice to see. So I'll probably be reaching out to everybody again to see who would like to stream again, or just show up. If you don't want to stream, that's fine. But showing up to them, they're fun. We will have gifts again this time, like we've done in the past. Those collector eggs and the collector gift boxes. What else did we do?
I think I destroyed my gift box, but I have the eggs still sitting next to the tower.
You ripped it up like Christmas morning, huh? I see.
I wanted to see what was inside.
You can put it back together, right?
You know that Honjo doesn't always think ahead.
You should have asked Drax at that point. He knows this. Right, Drax?
Gotta keep them intact.
See? You could have asked your friend for advice.
Collectors.
Yeah, I got lucky when I found it when I was streaming, and I had a whole bunch of people yelling at me in stream, "Make a blueprint! Make a blueprint!" Oh, good idea, good idea.
Yes. Yes.
But it worked fairly well last time we did a tour, so this time we'll probably do it the same. We'll have another form, TM, as you guys know, to sign up for it and to submit places that maybe it's somebody that their account has gone inactive, but it's still available to go visit. It's fine. You know, if they're not playing or they're on vacation or something like that, then sure, just show your friend. Now, mind you, not everybody on your friends list, please, or we'll never get through a tour. But worthy places to go see. They gotta have
send
something on it.
everyone on my friends list to Nyota.
Yeah,
Roger.
thanks. Yeah,
Swervin Tower. Everyone
well,
visits
that's
Swervin
okay.
Tower.
I'm gonna go through the list with a fine-tooth comb, and if there's nothing to see, then yeah, there's nothing to see.
So Nyota, we're pretty excited to see the new ship that you guys are going to be using for the tour, and I think that the ship's getting its own fan club. So you guys going
the
to have
ship is getting its own fan club. You
That's-
have to
that's-
explain this to me. What do you
Gotta be
know about
birthday
this
cake.
decision?
well,
Gotta
well,
be birthday cake.
Shush you! Shush
It's-
you!
it's-
I don't know
So
what
you-
it is.
yeah, exactly. That I don't either. I don't want to pretend
But
like I know, but
All I have to say is it better
don't know.
You guys don't like being surprised, do you?
I love
I don't
being
know what it
surprised.
is, but
Drax spoils a lot of surprises, so don't.
No.
do that.
Are you telling me not to tell Drax stuff? Okay,
yeah,
got
don't
it.
tell Drac. But
Okay.
it's the birthday of the release. It would have to be a cake, right? Like it's got to be a cake. I don't know what it is. It might be a giant freaking candle for all I know. We don't know. Could be a firework, an exploding firework, and you sit in each one of you, everyone can sit on a sparkle or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you'll find out.
I was just saying there was such a good there was a bunch of excitement about the balloon ship, and we talked about that with Resource when you hopped on with us the day of the beach event over at the exchange. So I just have a feeling there's gonna be a little hype to see this ship for the anniversary tour.
Definitely.
So I'm excited
I
to
hope
see it.
so. I hope so. We'll see. It's under construction right now, so we'll see how it comes along. But I have faith that it will get to where it needs to go.
Awesome.
I hope.
That is the new hide and seek event. Find the ship being built, but if we're lucky,
Yeah,
it's being
good
built
luck
in
with that.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
good
say,
luck
now
with
we're gonna
that.
find it out. It's on a test server where none of us
Yeah,
are
no one can ever see it.
Oh, my good luck with that. The space is large. Uh, as the expression in game says, mind-bogglingly huge, or whatever it is. So yeah.
Can we at least get a name of the person working on it?
No,
Why?
don't
No.
do it. Drax
What?
spoils
Why would I ask
everything.
that? Why
Drax,
would
Yeah,
you
but
know
do
best.
Fishing for
Doesn't-
clues.
It doesn't tell us what it's going to be. It just tells us
You
the
know what
level of
I'm
level of
It
detail
just tells
or
you who to send a friend request to.
I'm turning
and,
the tables. I'm turning the tables on Drax. I think that he's pretending to be innocent, but he's not. And I think he's fishing.
Good feeling.
And he's fishing in the wrong pond because I'm not giving up anything.
Here, I got this. Hey, Drax.
What?
When's Destiny gonna get started?
Being quiet.
I got you, Nyota.
I mean that's cruel. I mean that's playing harsh.
He wanted to stop that right now. But yes, there will be a ship, and you will have to wait for the grand reveal of that ship. Just like the air balloon one, which I remember very well. Nicodemus was very, very proud of his air balloon ship. People were like, "Holy moly, what the heck is this?"
Yeah, it was
And-
I
really
like
cool.
the air balloon. The air balloon was really nice too.
And then we
It
had
was
the
definitely
bus.
a highlight during when they were doing the tours and we're like, we see what ship we're taking for the tours. It was definitely a highlight to see which
It's
one
a
we're
great,
doing.
you gotta wait for the great reveal, so that's what we need. We need a good reveal for it. But there's a concept in place. There's no doubt about it.
Good stuff. We'll be looking forward to it.
It's not that far away, a month away. Can't believe DU is going to have a year anniversary. Holy moly. How did that happen?
1 week at a time.
You know, it
me, it flew by.
absolutely, yeah, it absolutely does not feel like it's been a year. Like I keep kind of going, yeah, I only started playing, 10, 12 weeks ago, right? I haven't been at this. And it's like, wait a minute.
I only
Right.
have like 94 days of game time in so far. At least that's what
Like-
my login menu says.
I don't want to ask Drax how much game time he has. I don't want to do that.
Like I was,
His
like I'm
streams are
shocked.
marathons, so yeah.
Like I was shocked to realize how long it's been,
Mhm.
and then I was like, well, if only it calculated our time for total time, because if I calculate the time that I had in beta on top of the 121 days and 9 hours I had in release, it would be insane. I think when we logged off, it was like almost 1,000 hours. I think that was what it was, but
Ouch.
1,000 days, something like that. I forget what it is, exact numbers. I gotta look at. I got to look at my old streams during that time and see exactly what time it was when the end of the game. But yeah, it's hard to believe that it's been that long already. A year already coming up.
Yeah.
I think these next few days, these weeks coming up to the anniversary, there's gonna be a lot more talk about. I mean, there's always talk, but a lot more talk about what it's been the last year and what the next year coming
Mhm.
of what we're all hoping to see. And wink wink hit hit, love to see
Yeah. I heard nothing.
projection.
As long as I don't see messages from everyone saying, "Can we get a roadmap?" I'll be happy.
You and me both, honey. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, when I first got into the industry as doing software development, one of the roadmaps were just sort of being the big in
Yes.
vogue thing,
Yep.
and the guy who was teaching me said, "Yeah, roadmaps are the way marketing tells software development what's not going to happen."
It's pretty accurate, actually. No, I mean, I completely understand. You know, the one thing I do understand. How do I put this? That the through beta, and this game has been around longer than the 1 year. People
Mhm.
got used to seeing a roadmap, seeing what's coming up
Yeah.
next, and it just becomes a habit forming. So they don't see
It
a
does.
roadmap, and then they're like, what's going on? So I get it. I totally understand that point. But also, from the other side of things that people kind of forget is that there have been roadblocks of promising stuff, and that stuff didn't happen. And then everybody gets mad at that kind of stuff. And so we don't want to make promises if it for some reason we don't think it's going to happen, right? So
Things considered, though, I thought you guys did quite well at when you guys released things that you guys kept pretty damn close to the roadmap. Like when you
yeah.
on your time things on what was coming out, did you hit every single one? No, of course
See,
not.
but you got to
you did.
remember, this
Oh,
is
did
the
it.
internet, Drax.
Yeah, I know.
And every time they miss one thing,
Yeah.
That's true.
someone's going to be there to make sure they put a giant billboard. Yeah, they missed one thing on a list of 50.
How dare you?
Something said at the very beginning on when they're doing Kickstarter levels. One thing that was said then, people still preach as what was supposed to be required in the game as it is now, even though it's been out, it's been in the works for all this time,
Right.
and they're
Yeah.
still quoting things that were said way back then.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Like
and
it's
one of those
evolved
things.
past it.
My son and I are both writers, and he's sort of getting into it. And we were talking about the nature of reviews and stuff. And the quote I came up with is that screams are louder than smiles. People who are happy are not motivated to spend time on a forum. They're busy reading, or in the case of this, they're busy playing the game. It's the folks who are grumpy who go to a keyboard and do something other than. So by definition, yeah, roadmaps. To me at least, roadmaps just wind up a grinding point. It doesn't matter how, out of 50 things, you miss one, that's the only thing anyone notices because everyone's happy about everything else, right?
You're right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a hard way to gauge things, right?
Just go look at Amazon. That's all I gotta say. I always look at the bad reviews first to see what people are complaining
Yeah,
about, because
absolutely.
the complaints are the people that scream the loudest. So if
Mhm.
like a product has like 1,000 complaints, but like 9,000 successful answers, those complaints could be chalked up to any number of things. bad experience.
Yeah.
Prior experience in
And-
something else. So
It's also a personal thing, whether it's Amazon or playing a game. It's a personal thing. You really want this to be in the game. Therefore, that was the one thing on the list that you were looking forward to, and it doesn't happen. And then suddenly you're going to scream the loudest, like, why didn't you get what I wanted? Kind of thing. So
Yeah,
it becomes a thing.
I will say this game is so dynamic that you do have, of the 50 things you promised, a certain percentage is really looking forward to one, right? Because this game is so many different things for so many different players. I think that's another reason that that one thing might get pounded on so much, is because to some percentage that was the game for them, right? That was what their experience hinged on, because this game just goes 1,000 directions. So yes, it's tough. I commend you guys for trying to put out there and be transparent and doing stuff like this. Honestly, it's the best way to communicate with the player base. And yeah, if you could nail them every single time, I mean, that would be great. But
I
if
remember.
you could
I
get
don't
most of them.
remember. I don't remember the update, but at one of our updates, I remember we put out, this is coming up and this is going to be our update. And we had a bunch of players all excited. Hey, that's a great idea. And the grumpy
Fuel up.
players were like, the grumpy players are like, okay, that's fine, but what's next? And you're like, guys, let us push this update out first, please. Give us a chance here. We're still in this update, not next update. So but I again, on the other side, I get, it's enthusiasm. You want to know what's next, and I get it. So
Yeah.
I certainly don't judge it.
Hey, we talked up
I
one of our friends, Van Herk here. He's already arisen on the other side of the planet, and jumped in, and we took
He
a look.
wants stuff. What did you really want, Van Herk?
You know that thing that time.
That thing?
Come on, Nyota, you know
He
what
probably
Van Herk
wanted the
wants.
fuel hub.
He wanted
A lot
the
of
golden
people were
goober.
waiting
He
for it.
probably wasn't here for the
That
golden
had to
goober.
been what she was talking about, what people were really excited for, and they were like, "What's the next thing?"
Yeah.
And that had to have been it, because there was a lot of hype over that.
Mm-hmm.
And people were like, "Yeah, but what else? If they're doing that, what are they doing
What's next? What's next? Yeah. But Van Herk probably just wanted a golden goober, I think.
Probably.
What do you think? Golden goober. He's the Liam bot creator, so he must want a golden goober.
We need a golden goober robot now.
Elcor, please.
Elcor golden goober. Oh my goodness.
Elcor golden goober.
I will provide all gold voxel colors required for said adventure.
Who is crazy enough to do such an endeavor? I may have to help that endeavor. Drax?
Van Herk will definitely make a golden goober.
Yeah,
Drax won't do it.
We're in the market for stuff like that, Van Herk, Orbidity, and myself were out on Sakari, and we're looking for gold stuff. A golden goober would be perfect. Elcor, of course. So
I mean,
I'm making a solid gold Elcor of polished white gold. One of the reasons I have so many refineries up the space station right now.
The golden goober is going to catch on. Everybody, we're going to be part of the cool club. Everybody's going to have a golden goober.
You're going to have to know what that is.
Yeah.
Van Herk, by the way, what's a goober?
See?
Now, Honjo, did you say you're making a solid Elcor of polished white gold?
Yes.
And where is this thing?
I'm going to be doing it at my space station. I currently have 10 million pure gold. And I think I calculated it needing just under 12 million.
Wow. You see?
I suppose the next question I have that comes out of this is why?
Why not?
Yeah, I think this is a why not.
No. I have the answer, because I've had this discussion with people before. Why can you do it? Why will you do it? Because I can. That's why.
That's pretty much the truth. Like, I'm going to do one out of iron because I have way too much hematite. I'm going to do one out of quartz because I have
See?
way too much quartz. And I'm going to do one out of cobalt because I love cobalt.
There you go.
Now,
you need
I'm
some
not going to
purple
do
in
one
there,
out
man.
of
You need
tier
some purple.
5 because of the sheer cost of schematics is like 4 billion to do a tier 5 one. But
Wow.
at
Somebody
some
needs to make
point, I
a purple
might.
city for me. Somebody out there, make a nice purple city.
How about a ruined purple city?
Why
I have this.
ruined?
No, I have a blueprint of like a city, like in a ruined city from beta that I can do in purple.
Oh, well,
I'll build
I'm down for
an
that.
all
And we need to
purple
have a
ship.
gold in it, and we're good.
The day we get polished purple steel, I'll build a purple ship.
Polished purple what?
Polished
Steel.
purple steel.
Oh yes, I remember hearing about that.
We get polished purple steel, then I'll use purple a lot more.
You're gonna have to hold him to that one, Nyota.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to twist somebody's arm to get some polished purple steel, and everybody knows my addiction to purple. So yeah, good luck.
Well,
with
I
that
was just going to say, if you're going to do polish, you're going to have to do galvanized, because otherwise you can't do good contrast strips. So we need both of them to do a proper
See,
job.
of course, yeah. It leads to another one, which will lead to something else too.
Which also means they're gonna need panel and light versions,
No.
because steel has light versions too. Just
Well,
putting
the
it
thing
out
is-
there.
Here's the thing: is they already have all that in plastic, right? All they have to do is add the
Ew,
polish.
plastic doesn't exist. Go away.
He's like, that's
Oh,
beneath me,
knocking the
son. That's
plastic.
like, yeah, he's
Knocking
like,
the
that's
plastic.
beneath me,
At this
man.
point, it's the only option we have for purple, right? Is the plastic.
No,
So-
we have Lumi.
Well, besides Lumi, other than that, there's different colors
There's
of purple.
There's
Purple
high tier
plastic.
purples, but they're all panels or painted.
Yeah, it's all panels are painted.
There's purples at least. I know well there's a lot of purples, so maybe not the purple that I always want, but there's purple. I mean, I'm like you guys, you're always like, well, can I get this too, please?
Clear blue tint glass. Like
Yeah,
clear
if
blue
I
tint
could get
glass.
if I could get Lumi that was actually transparent,
Yeah.
the amount of crap I could make.
I wouldn't even care if it had a slight tint to it, where you could see through it, but it was still had a little bit of a tint to it.
Or
I wouldn't
just-
care that.
Or just
But just so I
drop
could see
glass
through it.
from Luminescent's name, so I'm not confused. Just saying.
Like I know that they had clear glass in alpha. They had it. They took it away out in beta, and we know why they did, and it made sense that they did. But now that the reason why they took it out is gone, not a bad problem anymore. They took it out because people were making giant towers,
Making
4,000
people crash.
kilometers high, and people were crashing into it. It was just a glass tower. But now
that would still be a problem because
It would
people
still
make
be a
giant
problem.
needles.
Yeah.
Like my
And they
space station's a lot of needles right now because I'm frameworking what's it called, but
Yeah, people would still they would still use it for, let's say, not so nice things. I mean, it would be nice for the people that would do so honestly, but there are a lot of people that do like to annoy other players.
purple
Go figure.
transparent Lumi glass.
Go
Are you
figure.
sure? Are you sure about that, Nyota? I mean,
Sure.
that seems like that's. I'm not sure. I believe that. Or
Yeah,
I
you know.
swear she just said Honjo.
I said nothing. I'm remaining quiet now. That's all.
Like the level of windows and canopies that I would be able to make with transparent would be ridiculous.
We're not going to go into canopies because canopies are ridiculously expensive to make right now.
I wouldn't mind if they made the Lumi glass expensive at the same materials and cost to build it.
Drax.
Make it tier 5, really rare shit. One plasma for every 1,000.
I can't
Oh,
say
wow.
what I want to. I can't say what I want to say.
Oh, I know.
I'm staying quiet. That's all there is to it.
If
I know
if I
better.
was smart, I'd be quiet from this point forward.
Drax, I'm going to add percentage points to your debt now.
Oh god.
Oh, ouch.
It was 0%. We're gonna add 0.5% to that.
We need to get the golden goober and like put many golden goobers all over his territory, and just, so he has no room for any more
Whoever we
ships.
get to make a golden goober, I need them to make me a golden squirrel.
I have jerk squirrels. I'm not happy with squirrels this year, so there.
Oh
That's
man,
fine.
I'm having squirrel issues.
what's going on with your squirrels? I mean,
So I have a balcony and I have a garden in my balcony, and I've had so for many years. I've never had a problem with squirrels. And I always feed the birds because I'm one of these people that likes feeding the wildlife, right? And the squirrels decided that they like the bird feed as well. I have video to prove it. And it's fine. I was like, I'll feed all the things. It's okay, you know. I'm generous that way, and now we have like a new batch of squirrels.
all right.
This is my story, and I'm sticking to it. Last fall, I was looking out on my balcony, and I found two of them fornicating on my balcony. Okay,
All right.
and so I knew that there was going to be a new crop of squirrels coming my way. I predicted this, right? And it's true. Now we have some teenage squirrels this time of year, but so it's fine. I'm feeding them. I'm always trying to shoo them away and whatever. But they now so I have a bunch of like pepper plants on my balcony, and right now this is the time of year where plants are growing and
Yeah.
veggies are growing, and so I have a bunch of hot peppers all over my balcony, and the little jerks. I almost said a curse word. Little jerks come on my balcony now. Not only this year they did two things. One is they started digging up all of my plants to hide stuff in it. So I had to use chicken wire. And this is like a balcony, so I have to use chicken wire on every stupid pot I have.
Oh wow.
And I had to get stitches because me and chicken wire didn't get along. And then
You shouldn't try to fight chicken wire.
yeah, it was stupid. Yeah, I learned my lesson. And then so all my pots all have chicken wire all over them, so they can't get digging them up. But there's a couple of them that it's not completely secure because I got lazy, and the squirrels have gone one step further. This is the second time today I found out they've been picking my peppers and trying to bury them.
Nice.
I have found 3 peppers now buried in the dirt. This is war now.
That's very
This is
interesting.
yeah. And funny enough, which is really funny, is that I always see like bird feed or whatever to detract from squirrels. They put hot pepper mix on them, so the squirrels are not supposed to like it. But yeah, I think I disproved that theory.
So you got some spicy squirrels. All right.
I do. No, Van Herk. No, I can't feed all the things and then shoot them. That doesn't work for me.
Going to run electricity through the chicken wire.
But then the poor birds are not going to be happy.
I don't
See,
know.
I can't,
I'm
Well,
scared
and
for
keep in
Nyota's
mind-
safety.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, at the point she injured herself to stitches on trying to assemble said chicken wire, I'm not sure electrifying it makes any sense at all.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, I even have like a little one of those video cameras out there to watch all the wildlife feeding upon their grand feast, and yeah, I'm one of those weird hippie types. But yeah, anyways, yeah, me and squirrels. There used to be cute things. I used to have fun with my goober, my cat, Van Herk. Goober is my cat. And I used to say, "Oh, look at the bushy tail things," and the birds are the flappy tail things. Yeah. Laugh at me, guys. It's okay. But
Flappy
Goober,
Birds. I know what game you were playing.
yeah. and so it was fun because Goober had wildlife to watch and stuff, but now the bushy tail things, as soon as I see one, I start chasing them off, and they're not even afraid anymore. They just
Can't you
look at me.
train a goober to chase them off for you?
No, this week, Goober always goes out on the balcony because of the flappy things, right? She wants to chase the flappy things, and she was afraid of the squirrels that were yapping at her. She got pushed off her own balcony, pretty much.
Were there
She was like,
multiple
"Let me in,
squirrels?
let me in."
Were they ganging
Yeah.
up on her?
There were 2.
Oh, there's 2.
Yeah.
That's still
And
more
they're
than one.
teenagers. Teenager squirrels are mean.
Yeah.
They're teenager squirrels. Yeah, this is gang mentality, guys. Sorry I went on a tangent here, but welcome to my life. I
She's
thought
got
I would
these
share a little personal stuff. But yeah,
spicy gangster squirrels, harassing
You
her
know.
cat out here. Man, Nyota, that's
no, really, my cat. She's
stealing
like,
your
let me
peppers.
in. There was when I went out to go see why my cat, because she spends sometimes some hours out there, and she's safe out there. Don't worry, she can't get hopped off the balcony or something like that. And I was like, why is there such an urgent that she wanted to come in? She takes the screen door with her nails and goes tick, 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 let me in. It's hilarious. And so I was like, what's the panic? And I went out there and there were two squirrels like behind her a couple of feet away. It was so funny. She was like, let me in. These things want me. They want to eat me. I don't know. Gooper snacks.
Okay, so Drax, here's what we need. We need to put a goober hood ornament on the Nyota and put 2 golden squirrels behind it.
Yeah, 902. That would work great for an organization name. I think. I think I'd be totally down for that. I would join that org.
The Golden Goober Org.
Nah, the spicy gangster squirrels. Think about it.
SGS, baby.
SGS.
I see it now.
I could see that being a PvP org right there.
Oh, yes. That's perfect.
Every one of the ships looks like a squirrel.
And I'm sorry, I went on my little tangent about squirrels. I couldn't resist. It was my weekly news.
If you do have to chase a squirrel, let it be about squirrels, right? Stay on task.
Yeah, they're smart little buggers. They're cute, but they're smart.
They just tend to hide things everywhere.
Yeah, and they don't remember, apparently, from what I've read. They don't even know where they've hidden stuff. So now I'm just finding peppers all over the place. And I was like, those are my peppers. Don't take my peppers. What do you... So then I when I find them, I put them out so they would take them again, so they don't take the ones that are on the pepper plants. Yeah.
Smart.
Not working so well. I mean, my gardening skills have not leveled up this year. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, but your squirrel skills have.
Yeah,
You know
my
what I mean?
chicken wire skills have leveled up. Yeah.
Well, tell Nicodemus he needs to up the skill point gain rate, and maybe your green thumb will
Yeah.
come back.
I like how you did that. That was good.
Yeah, nice move there. Yeah, well done. But yeah, so there you go. I thought it would be funny that you guys would have fun for this weird little thing going on. Me against the squirrels.
Keep us updated.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting to see Nyota's avatar with a water gun chasing squirrels around on one of the streams.
Well, I considered doing that actually. I thought about it. It's like maybe I should get like a water gun, and just like go
That would
after
be fun,
them.
right? Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I don't want to hurt them. I'm not.
It's water.
And
It's
honestly,
water.
I don't care if they eat the bird food. It's okay. Like I said, feed all the things. But when they get onto my pepper plants, which have peppers on them, and they have the nerve, the
He's
audacity.
like, it's my food.
Yeah. It's like, look, this is your food. This is not your. Yeah. So that's
Okay,
where
what
there's a
kind of
line.
peppers
There's
you
a
got?
line.
What kind of peppers you got?
So this is what I do to myself every year, and I continue doing it to myself. So I love hot peppers. I'm a spicy kind of person. You might notice that by the way I talk. And so they're all hot peppers for the most part. And there's like a hot pepper seed mix that I buy every year, and it's mixed. So I have
Okay.
no idea. So
Nice.
sometimes they're habaneros, sometimes they're jalapenos, sometimes they're ghost peppers, sometimes
Wow.
they're I have no idea what they are. And my poor friends, I'm always like, hey, here's a picture. Like right now, I did that this week actually. I was like, I have no idea what this pepper is. What the hell is this thing? Does somebody know? And they're just laughing at me. They're like, yeah, we don't know.
Well, that's pretty cool.
And then Nyota tries to feed them to them when they're over for dinner.
Yeah. I mean, I have tomatillos. I'm a cute little gardener on my balcony, so I got some tomatillos. I grow tomatoes, but I don't eat tomatoes, which is really weird.
You just throw them?
I just grow them because it seems like you have to if you garden. I don't know why. I have weird. Yeah, don't ask. This year, I am trying something new, which is kind of cool. I'm growing black sesame seeds, and I had no idea what happens to them or how you grow them. I didn't
Do they
know.
come in multiple colors?
Yeah,
Oh, didn't know that.
yeah. Well, the funny part is, and you guys are gonna laugh at me on this, is that it's purple. The flowers are purple. I didn't know.
How about that?
So suddenly, I apparently I'm good at detecting purple without knowing it, and so I didn't know. So they were flowering, and I'm like, so is there seeds in the flower? How does this work? I don't know how black sesame seeds work. I mean, honestly, does anybody? And so I had to look it up online, like a noob, and apparently they have pods. And I started looking at my plants, and I've got a whole bunch of sesame seed pods that apparently are filled with sesames.
Very nice.
So yeah, welcome to my life. Sorry, guys, I'm sharing. Is this too much information?
I think everybody's been enjoying it.
I'm just gonna say, hey, content is content. We'll take it.
Now you
It's
guys can
any
laugh at me.
publicity is good publicity.
We went through the golden goober, we went through peppers, we went through squirrels, but I like that org name, the squirrel gangster org. I think that'd be kind of hilarious.
Spicy gangster
I feel like
squirrels.
making that now. Yeah. But yeah. So I thought, why not? Why not share a little bit, right? The little things that happen in real life. You guys have all this thing too, so So
Yeah. Squirrels happen sometimes. I don't have any squirrels in my yard. Let me tell you a crazy thing. I was walking. We had a bunch of squirrels at this university, at the university I was attending, and they had kind of taken over the quad. And I saw one fall out of a tree one time. You always wonder, like, how do they make it every time? They make all the. Well, I seen one not make it one time, and it's very awkward. A girl screamed. The squirrel looked like it was in severe pain, but I had to go to class. It was really weird. I didn't know what to do. Several students, we were kind of freaking out. Like, what do we do? I hope he's okay. I had to go to class, but yeah, there's my squirrel story. All right. So,
we're in the wildlife portion of this podcast. Welcome everybody.
I love it.
And there's a good question for you. And this is something that I've been puzzled about, and there's always jokes about it, but is there ever a long-term idea to put wildlife of any kind onto these planets? We got cool plants, we have the random fish, we have the odd bird that goes by.
Some birds.
But is there going to be any kind of we're not looking for something as over the top as No Man's Sky, where you procedurally generate an entire dinosaur world or something like that,
Right.
but just because it is something that's kind of striking. You spend a little bit of time at you work on a land base or whatever, and you start realizing, what is it I'm not seeing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
So we came from Earth, right? Give us the ability to buy DNA strands from the Ark ship, so I can fed myself a freaking space cow.
I
Give me
like
a
that.
space
You want a space
Oh,
cow?
yeah.
That's what you want. A space
Drax
cow.
wants a space cow. All the things to
Or a space
request.
kitty, so I can have a cat in my house where
Well,
you can reconstitute the DNA and
Who's
clone
gonna
the
clean
cat.
up after the cat?
That is a really cool idea, because that becomes a couple more things you can put into industry, building the pieces to do it or what have you. And then, a la Blade Runner, you drop the pieces into the box, you push the magic button, and, the owl or the snake or the cow comes out.
Cats have different stats. They give different things for you, and then on top of that, you can do corn and shit. And then the mission, there's an NPC mission that you can do corn and turn them in and say, okay, Sakari wants 20 dozen crops of space beans or some type of bean, and you got to take it out there.
Now, from a design perspective, would a cow be a large assembly unit or an extra large assembly?
Medium, gotta be a medium.
Large.
An elephant would be the large. No. I think we're getting a little bit far with the elephant, though.
All I gotta say is the first animal that came out of Drax's mouth was a cow.
I
So
want a space cow.
he wants steak, is what he wants.
Where's the
it doesn't
beef?
have-
Space cow.
It doesn't have
Yeah.
to be beef. I just
Space
want. I
cows
just
are
want
a
animals.
thing. No. I had a friend that was making a space cow MMO at one point. So yeah, it's a thing.
Let me put it on my ship with a little helmet on, and we'll be fine. Like, is that a cow?
I'm
on your
sorry.
ship with a
I just,
space helmet?
I just had the slightly perplexed moo kind of expression with the
Exactly.
fish bowl over the cow's head.
Yes.
It's just what?
Now,
In the navigator's seat, nonetheless.
now
You
you
got the
get
cow.
it.
All of a sudden, someone's going to try to recreate Spaceballs, but with a cow.
You know, a placeable cat object where I can take a cat, name it Goober, put a space helmet on it, and put it in my cockpit, in my co-pilot seat. He just sits there.
Well then, okay. We went from cows to cats. Okay.
Any
Let's do
type of
dog
animal
more.
at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, but now you're getting into the animal discussion. Is which ones? Let's say if it's doable, which ones? It's just like Lumi at that point. Well, they're like, well, my favorite.
Start with
you
the
know-
domesticated ones, and then
Yeah.
expand
Uh-huh.
from there.
So does that
Dogs,
include?
cats, and then farm animals, chickens.
As long as
cows,
I can
pigs.
grow a Drax and
I
good.
mean, there people domesticate almost any animals at this point, right?
Pot-belly
Except,
pigs.
well,
Okay,
there's belly pigs, there's rats, there's
llama.
no,
You gotta have llama.
llama, sheep,
donkey.
there's tons of domesticated animals that
That
are
would
not
bring in a whole slew
chickens.
of people into this game who would just do that.
Just
Literally
animals.
all they would do is raise crops.
I was just say
and
space
animals.
farming.
They would do space
So-
farming.
Literally,
so it's gonna
heard
become
someone would have a dog that actually has to herd a herd of cats.
Well,
so we're gonna go into DU Pharmaverse. So that's what you're going.
Just because it is actually an interesting. I don't know. I'm sure you folks have all played No Man's Sky, but they've got an entire thing for crafting over there where they do culinary stuff, and the easiest way to get the ingredients is just run a farm. And so, but because of the way the game works for them, you're always working with local critters because they randomly generate local critters on all the planets. I think it's just a very a keen idea from a lore perspective as well about the idea that because humanity is the way we are, when we go out to colonize the stars, we bring as much a home with us as we can, so that we've got some familiarity with what we've lost, sort of thing. And so the idea that there's the equivalent of the seed bank, on board, and the gene bank for the various farm animals and various things from Earth. And that you can dial a critter kind of thing, and then use that as part of your gameplay loop. That's kind of cool. I really, it kind of does, close the gap a bit on the whole idea that it's quote Minecraft in space. You'll hear that quote, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, because I know some people who literally that's all they do with Minecraft. So they just set up their fantasy farm and they're very happy that way. Thank you. So.
Oh,
Exactly.
to each their own. There's definitely, and somebody was mentioning, there's people that just want to decorate their house. That's been tried and true in MMOs since its infancy.
Yeah.
You look at Ultima Online. Don't look at it. It's not that pretty to look at. But you know what I mean. These days, back then it was pretty to look at, but right now not so much. But that's all they did. The people have kept their subscription to Ultima Online for 20 years, so they don't mess out losing all their stuff and all the collectibles they have in their houses, in their fortresses, and stuff like that. It's a big deal. It's just part of what MMOs are. People want a home and all of the collectibles that they can get. and animals are part of that. Pets. Let's mention pets, right? Pets are a part of it. So.
I just want a red panda.
You guys don't, you don't want any luxury items or anything, I see. So. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. I don't have an answer for, will we ever get farm animals or any
Yeah.
going back to cows, but or stuff like that. To my knowledge, nothing like that is
Yeah.
that requires quite a bit.
Yeah.
Again, it's since you do know something about game development, you got to look at how much time would that take to
Oh,
implement.
absolutely. Yeah.
know?
And by the way, I do apologize.
But
Well, because for lack of a better way of putting it, even if the answer was yes, I know enough to know that you wouldn't be allowed to tell me anyway. So the right way to have done that was for me to say, this would be so cool, love to see it as a future thing. So my apologies for putting you on the spot like that. Sorry
no
about
worries at all.
All right.
That's fine. I get it. It would be cool. I mean, hell, we spent, how long did we stop? Did I swear? Did we, we spent time talking about the golden goober who's staring at me right now. You know what I mean? So it's fine. It's part of the discussion. It's nice to toss around these ideas. I wish, as a representative of NQ, I had the answers that you guys were seeking. I don't, but I'm happy to discuss them, and I'm happy to take this feedback and bring it to people that are listening to me. And listening to everybody to see what can we improve on in DU. And I know there's, it becomes a a push and pull kind of situation, I guess it is, where how much time do we want to spend on something, and how important is it to have that? How many people actually want it? It's hard to judge. As I've said in the past podcasts, everybody they do DU their way. You do DU, and everybody has their thing. Like I'll bring up Drax because it's funny with the space cows. He wants space cows, but Honjo wants a panda, a red one on top of it. I might want a polar bear. Everybody has their thing.
I know how we
And-
sell Nyota. We want a purple polar bear.
No, I don't want a purple polar bear. That's just weird. What are you talking about?
She wants a cat that she can put on a little witch hat and name it Goop.
But I have one, and she's alive. She's a
She can
furry
bring her in game
beast.
with you too.
Yeah.
She must. She could be showcased everywhere.
She knows she's being talked about. She's giving me these looks like, "What the
Like,
heck,
snacks,
man?"
mom. Snacks.
No.
Next-
Don't mention. No.
Next
Don't
stream,
Don't mention
since
the S word.
Nyota never goes on camera, should just put the cat on camera.
I
This is
do that.
Nyota.
All right, here I'll tell you one last thing. I know the stream is, of course, are we at the 2 hour now, so it's time for us to go.
We're
but
we're on out
my
there.
coworkers, as you guys can probably tell, I'm kind of a brat at times. It's possible sometimes. I'm a gamer just like you guys, so I have that tendency at some point. And if it's been a particularly bad week, or if I've been particularly dumb or something, then I usually pay the cat tax. And I won't go on video on camera, but I'll put my cat on camera. And that's how I pay the cat tax. So if you ever hear me saying something about paying the cat tax, that's what I usually do. I'm like, do I need to pay the? Yeah, I'm not sure how that started, but I started it. So if you ever hear something about the cat tax, so and other people have done it too. Other coworkers, they're like, "Yeah, do you need a cat? Is it a cat tax time?" So do I need to pay the tax? It's hilarious because, as you know, everybody loves their pets. Whether it's a dog or a cat. So it's always a nice little reprieve if you're having a heated discussion. Here's a cat's belly.
See, since I don't
Everything's
have
good.
animals, I just put Pokemon plushies on screen.
There you go. Whatever floats your boat, okay? But yeah, it's all good. Speaking of belly, goober belly in front of me over here. So yeah, if I'm not gonna show you I'm not gonna pay the cat tax on screen. The cat has to cooperate, and that takes some doing sometimes.
Wait. You're telling me the cat doesn't run you?
Some days. Depends. Yeah, some days. But yeah, it's all good. But yeah, again, Swervin, I know I said this is the third week in a row, but thank you for hosting these things.
Yeah,
I think they're a
absolutely.
lot of fun, even though maybe this week nobody wants to hear about my squirrel issues, or that's Hanjo's fault for mentioning a squirrel.
Oh, that's
And
perfectly fine.
Everybody stuck around.
yeah,
Maybe they
they
liked
didn't
it.
run away from
I,
me, but now they're all gonna be laughing at me. They're gonna
nah,
probably
we
send
have
me.
King Squirrel in chat. His name's Drax.
Ouch.
He knows it.
King
He mentioned
Squirrel.
Tell us how
safe.
you really feel.
Ouch. In your corners,
No, and it's
boys.
good.
Your
He
corners.
he gets distracted very easily and goes and looks at other people's ships, so I call him the squirrel.
All right. So does that make you Moose or Boris?
I'm Boris.
Yeah.
100%.
But yeah, a much
I'm Ro-
appreciated Swervin for hosting, continuing to host us. This is week 3. We don't have the same participants, except I guess me and you, Swervin. At this point, we're the only 2, aren't we? We've
Yeah,
been here every week.
I guess so.
Yeah. 3 for 3. Yeah, it would be you and Swervin.
And 902, this is your second week, I think. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So there you go. And Honjo and Drax are new. We're missing our people from our first stream as well as others. But hey, I hope
I'll
that
come back whenever he invites me. So,
Yeah, I like this. I like the participation, guys. I appreciate you being here for sure. Nyota, really appreciate you dropping in unexpectedly, and hey, I love that it's an open invitation for all creators to get together and talk, and so it's always a come if you can, and yeah, I just appreciate you guys doing this. I've been enjoying it. Third week's been great, and we again effortlessly just
zoom on by. We have a lot to
just
say.
yeah, it's great.
Well, it's. I also noticed something kind of interesting. It's actually slightly changed the way I play the game. We had that conversation at Nyota's request about, okay, so what's the first thing you do when you log in?
Yeah.
And so I've been sort of paying attention to what do I do when I
Oh
log
no!
in.
Really?
Yeah,
I sparked that. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
No,
very
it's
That's
actually
what
been
I
kinda
did in beta.
Well, I'm just gonna say it's actually been kind of interesting because it's also we always have sort of the pregame chat on the Discord about what are we going to talk about, what I do have ideas we want to bring forward, and so for lack of a better way we're putting it, I've been a lot more conscious about my play. Even if I'm just logging in, just basically, for lack of a better way of putting it, just to run machinery and stamp out some more voxels I can glue to things later. It's just that, how do you make this better? Like, is this actually good? And it's been really an interesting sort of way to sort of back up and reevaluate the game, because in many respects I'm looking at it and going, this is actually pretty good. Like, there's all
Yeah.
kinds of little things you can tweak, but nothing's ever going to be perfect, particularly not on a first pass. But it's like, this isn't. There's always that thing that I have is, okay, I'm actually playing this game because I like it or because it's a habit to log in. Because I used to play EVE that way for a long time. It was just a habit to get home, log in, and hang out, whether I really actually felt like playing it all. And then I was sort of doing that for a while with World of Warcraft. It was just, as part of a raid guild, you log in, you spend the weekend hanging out with, doing your raids, your raid practices, all your crafting, and blah, blah. And after a while, it was like, am I actually enjoying this, or am I just showing up because it's the thing I've been doing for 2 years straight now? It's like, so it's just interesting after the conversation we had the last show, just to kind of back up and think, so am I playing this out of habit, or is this actually still fun? The answer is no, this is actually still fun. So yeah.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. I find it a very fun game. It depends what you want to do, right? I know. I know that a lot of people think that we're not listening, but we are, and we're reading what people have to say and what people say in chats like these. And we hear complaints about, oh, it's a chore. It's a chore to do certain things in the game, and I get it. I've done those same chores, but it doesn't make DU unique in the MMO verse. If you play a regular MMO, not a sandbox one without any NPCs, if you go to, Elder Scrolls, you go to anything out there, go to talk to this NPC, do this quest, you must finish this before you can go do that. us, we have the freedom not to, and I think that makes it a lot of fun. And I'm not saying that there isn't problems with DU. You know, I play the game, I get it. But at the same time, there's a lot of stuff that's super cool. And I think I was talking with, was it Swervin today? We were talking about it. The stuff that we're able to do in DU is miles beyond most games would allow you to do.
Oh yeah.
I mean, seriously, the programming that's able to be done, the modifications, when you start thinking about that, while yes, it's not a perfect game, at the same time, it's a pretty amazing game when you think about it. So, at least
And
that's how,
every
yeah.
MMO has dailies. I'm just going to put it out there.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. For sure.
absolutely.
The
Oh,
grind's
yeah.
part of the MMO, right? That's part of the
Yeah.
Well-
MMO experience.
Well, and that's based out of a real simple piece of truism that dates back to EverQuest, which is that it's about, you know, you spend $20 or whatever it is a month, you have to feel like you've done something for that $20. So the easiest way to do that is to create idle loops, basically. And this isn't new. I mean, like I say, is, you know, starting all the way back, you know, EQ, and
before,
and
and
yeah,
before.
yeah, absolutely. But it's just, yeah, you know, farm. You know, when people talk about farming, they're not talking about space cows. They're talking about whacking orcs over the head and taking and taking, you know, and waiting for the 1% drop to get the thing they need to go buy the other thing they need, so they can make the thing they need, so they have a chance of getting the thing they really wanted. Right, and that's
And then rinse, repeat until they get the thing that they really wanted. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
How many times have you've played those regular MMOs, we'll say, and how many times did you have to kill this critter or find this critter that's never available that needs to spawn, and you have to do all these steps to make that critter spawn in order to kill that critter, in order to hope for a 0.56,000% drop rate of hope I get that
Yep.
special
I have an
sword,
answer
you
for
know?
that because
Yeah.
I did it in Final Fantasy XI. When I left that game, I was over 18,000 hours.
There you
Oh
go.
my. Oh my.
Yeah,
My
for me,
goodness.
Vanilla WoW. I remember the funniest thing was a whole bunch of tailors, my character included, standing in the Fellwood in a raid, waiting for things to pop up, so we could whack them over the head, and then everyone rolling dice to see if they got the drop they wanted. Why?
Yeah.
Because it was the only way to do the epic level tailoring item, right? Was to get a particular. You needed hundreds of this particular resource, and yeah, so literally a bunch of tailors standing around in a raid, waiting for the one poor dummy to stick its head up out of a hole, going, "Oh my God, whack! Okay, roll dice, see who wins this one."
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
my favorite thing from 11 was once a year they gave you statistics about your character, like how many times you died. That was always fun to watch, to see how many times I died as a black mage.
Yeah, I can see that being fun for sure. That's awesome. Well, I'll tell you what I like about this game, and Nyota, you hit on it, is the fact that right now I'm literally watching on a screen me playing the game that I'm currently watching that game in. It's a weird Inception type thing, but the fact that I can and I'm watching the dome, so I'm watching myself on the dome, on a screen, and Leafall put this on a screen for me, and I don't know, that's just crazy to me that I can watch this on the screen and I can look out the window down there and see it. Well, I can't because I got NASCAR on the other screen, it's blocking the view, but this is the type of stuff as a sandbox player and kind of a dreamer that I thought could not exist in a game, but here we are in this one, and I don't think that's everybody's fantasy to watch themselves on a screen in a game, playing the game that they're in, that they're watching. But I don't know, it's wild to me. This is kind of a dream for me as a MMO player to be able to do this, to be in my bedroom you know, in a place that's real because other people are here. And I don't know, man. What a fun game. And like you said, 902. Yeah, Nyota's question was pretty thought provoking, but the same way you thought about DU, I think I kind of did it in the same way. Like, yeah, this is pretty cool. This is pretty novel. You can't really do this as somebody who just likes creating stuff in a game. This is your home, whether you realize it or not, because this game gives you freedom that you just can't find anywhere else. So, yeah, man, I think I'm gonna continue to log in for the foreseeable future.
Yay! Hey, Leeroy.
Hi, sorry about that,
That's
guys.
Leeroy. Hey, man.
I had something come up last second I had to attend, so I missed tonight. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. You missed my squirrel stories. You've and the space cows. We might have gone off topic a few times.
And the golden goober.
Hey,
Don't forget the
hang
golden
on.
goober.
Golden Goober and the Space Cows were on topic.
Yeah, they actually were. Fair enough.
All
fair enough.
right. The squirrels weren't. What the heck, man?
Yeah, I can't say
I
that the
think they
squirrels
were
on
on
topic.
topic.
I don't know. Man.
So what you're
That's
saying is
debatable.
we need a space cow and a space squirrel building competition next.
Yes. I
We're-
will fund the reward for a space squirrel contest.
I gave everybody an idea to have like a field and track contest. Somebody needs to build.
Oh,
a course
yes.
like that.
Track and field. DU
Yeah,
track and field.
What? Why am I saying it backwards? Yeah, track and field.
Did
There
you say
go.
field and track?
I did. I don't know why. I blame the golden
Been a good night.
goober. I blame the golden goober. Yeah. So you missed all the action, Leroy.
I know, I'm sorry. I got home like 20 minutes ago and then realized that like I was late, and I'm sorry.
That's all good, man.
But yeah, it's been a fun, very relaxing kind of stream. I listened to a part of it, and I joined at some point to make fun of Drax, who's probably falling asleep now. But he's-
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm kind of surprised Drax is still awake.
I'm
Well,
angry. I'm falling asleep.
I was just gonna say, well, we're cross midnight my time, so yeah.
Yeah, we have been going for a while. So this will be the longest one.
Yeah, because we're almost
I'm sorry.
we're almost 2 hours and 40 minutes now. So
2
I
hours
don't
and
catch it.
40 minutes.
Yeah.
we literally got squirreled. We literally
You got
got
squirreled.
squirreled.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
I'm not gonna say it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm not
Just-
gonna say it.
It's all your fault,
Admit
but you just not. Yeah, don't do it.
It's always my fault.
But yeah, we definitely talked about some good points, and the good things on DU, and actually Swervin was just in his happy place,
Yeah.
showing us his the video screen of him. Did you win the dome that night, or did you?
No, this is I did not win because I definitely blow up in this, and it was just one of those good. I think this might have been week 4, so they had 4 of these balls going. It was the biggest dome to date at the time. 48's the record, which was that might have been a Tuesday night, but this is one of those nights where I don't know, just a week 4. We had 4 balls going. It was a good time. A lot of folks out, and yeah, there you go. It was a happy place. DU is pretty much a happy place for me almost every single time.
Me too. It's actually been my happy place I've been going through like finishing up a big project for work the last 2 weeks, and I'm finished now. So back on the dirt bikes
man.
and stuff. Yeah, like now that I'm done the big project, I can go back to my like passion, which is DU and riding dirt bikes. And so like all week, what I've been doing in DU is like I built like 4 or 5 ships. Actually, I just built this like really cool little like hauler that could do about 3 kilotons. I know it's not a whole lot, but it's just like what I need right now. And Taylor Bud and I have been working on this little bit of a deal we got going on with his. I guess they'd be a nickel or Inconel is what I'm trying to make. So I think it's nickel is what me and him. So Garnerite. He's got like 3 flowers, and he doesn't he doesn't take the calibration bonus. So I'm gonna go calibrate them for him. And I built a ring, a medium core, ring similar to what we got going on in the station.
Yeah.
Talamai. Yeah, and then I built 2 space haulers to like haul in between there, and then I also got the atmospheric hauler that I've been building so that I can haul the surface harvesting bonus. So
And
that's
how
kind
much
of like my
coffee
happy
did it
space.
require? How much coffee did it
Actually, not a
require?
whole lot. It was like
Oh.
I think the coffee was like more for work, to be honest. Like,
Gotcha.
DU was like my release. It was good. I liked it. It was a fun time. I haven't
I have
built
an
ships in a while.
IV of
so-
Red Bull.
Oof, I love that. I wish it's like 5-hour energy for me. If I could do that, I would.
Yuck, guys, that's just gross. Just saying.
I drink battery. It's sugar-free battery acid. but
Oh,
that's
I
nonetheless.
I know what you're talking about. That's, I guess, a little bit better than Red Bull. Red Bull, I don't know how anybody could actually drink
I
that
used to drink
and
a
like
lot
it.
of that until my dentist told me I had like 12 cavities and I needed 2 root canals.
The amount of sugar in that is just, and it tastes like probably what battery fuel would taste, but I've never tasted that, so I just assume.
I think it's like similar to coolant in the car. If you've ever had to,
Well, I've never
squeeze-
tasted that either, but yeah, maybe it's
Okay, I'm gonna put
confusing.
it out there. We need a disclaimer. A, coolant has a
You don't.
sweet taste, and secondly, coolant
Why do you
is
know that?
poisonous.
Mm.
Do
But why
not
do you know it
drink
has?
it.
Why do you know it has the
let's all
sweet
make
taste?
sure that
Do
we
you just
understand that
assume?
we are not encouraging anybody to drink coolant or battery acid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't
Yeah,
drink
well,
coolant.
Yeah,
Just,
please.
and avoid the crayons, okay? No crayons either, all right?
Don't shove anything up your nose either,
done
guys.
I've done work on cars.
Hey
That's why
guys,
I know
and,
the sweet taste.
and real
Yeah.
quick, this is a great segue. The KBLA asked, "Is there a specific goal for the podcast?" And I will say yes. It is to just have fun, talking about DU and things we like about the game with fellow players of the game. So I think that's the primary goal, and to talk about what we like, what's new, what are we working on in game. So that's the goal, and
Just kind of showcase our favorite things about the game, and then maybe discuss some things that we think would make those favorite things even better.
so I think and
I'm
long
just here to
form.
give squirrel stories, apparently.
There you go,
so-
and that plays right
I like
into
those.
to the long form allows us the freedom to go on happy tangents, and we can kind of weave in and out, and sometimes we hit very serious notes about the game. And this session, this entire podcast, I think we didn't so much talk about the idea section, and that's something I'll try to make up for in the next one. But I think I like this format where we get some creators on and we just talk about what we like about the game and what we're doing. So I think that's the goal. And I think always open to feedback. I think I've liked the feedback, both the constructive and the hey man, we really like what you're doing, like you guys getting on and talking. So yeah, just I appreciate it. That's a good question. It's a good question.
And to specify about the notes, yes, I'm usually taking some kind of notes as to. I honestly, I didn't write anything down about the space cows. Okay, I admit.
Somebody
this time.
took notes on that. I
Yeah.
promise. There's notes.
Sorry,
I
Drax.
got 'em, don't
Sorry.
worry.
Yeah, sorry, Drax.
I want to know about this. I'm gonna rewatch
Someone's
this later.
doing the
Yeah,
meat in
I need to-
minutes, right?
I realize
But,
I'm probably never going to get me a space cow or be able to grow space corn, but it doesn't mean I can't bring it up and suggest it every time.
Of course you
Yeah,
can.
Well,
Fishbowl llama for the win. I mean, come on.
You know.
in the podcast Discord, we do have like a discussion area where we do kind of write down notes, though. So like when I or somebody else in the podcast hears about a player that's talking about something they'd like, we kind of note that down. So
Yeah, absolutely.
they're there to be read and talked about. So I know this week we from what I'm hearing, because I wasn't there, sorry, we didn't talk a whole lot about that, but like there are notes. So we are like, if you guys have any ideas, just hit us up and we can talk about it, or come talk about it too.
Absolutely. Yeah, topics, what you would like to discuss and stuff like that. I'm here as just going on tangents and stuff, but it's also to listen to what everybody has to say as well. And I want to show some support. Positive vibes and good energy is a good thing. and sometimes DU needs that. And I'm happy you guys are here for however long you get to watch it. If you've got the attention span of let's say a squirrel, then you're watching for a few minutes. If you've got the attention span of a builder, you're probably here until way past we're even here. So
Yeah. And
Well, I don't know if anybody else does it. Sorry.
Yeah, what you got? What you got, Leeroy?
Sorry, I'm bad for that. I don't know if anybody else does this, but when I'm playing DU, I usually have my TV running with the Xbox on YouTube, and I'm listening to stuff like podcasts or whatever, and or like Spotify. You know what I mean? So like, I that's kind of like when Swervin brought up this idea, I was like, yeah, I'd love that. Like, if I could just like play DU and listen to people that love DU talk about DU, like. You know, if we're talking about why this podcast is a good idea, I think that's like for me was the biggest thing was like just being able to listen to people talk about this because it is a cool situation to be talking about.
You'll have to tell me all about my tangent about talking about the squirrels on my balcony and see if that makes you
Yeah.
giggle. If it doesn't make you giggle, then yeah.
Just to amplify on you, Leeroy, I get a lot of people in my streams who literally they're playing DU while I'm streaming and they're watching me doing DU because what they do in DU is different from what I do. So essentially they get to see the other play, they get to vicariously experience the other parts of the game they're not interested in by watching my stream. So I think, there's all kinds of ways this kind of media applies. So all good.
Yeah.
I was playing DU at the beginning of the stream, listening to this stream. So hey,
there you go.
I'm guilty of
I've been
exactly
playing
the
the
same
whole
thing.
Let's be
time.
honest. The reason why she came in here is because she saw and heard the words "golden goober,"
Yeah.
and that is why she came in here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Were squirrels mentioned before or after Nyota popped in? I need to know.
After.
Yeah, definitely after.
It was Honjo's fault. He mentioned squirrels, squirrel in particular, and then I went on a tangent because I have a war against the squirrels on my fornicating squirrels on my balcony.
I can
War of
add to that
squirrels.
actually. Chipmunks were an issue tonight, so we have this airbag setup that we use for motocross, and it's a lander, kind of like a giant bouncy castle, but it's for dirt bikes to land on. And we had chipmunks inside of it, and if you can imagine these poor chipmunks going for a ride every time we land on this thing, we were trying to figure out how to get these chipmunks out of this airbag. So, not quite squirrels, but it was just kind of weird how that applied.
Yeah, same they're little squirrels, little loud squirrels. Those little chipmunks.
Yeah, very, very
There you
loud. And they squeak every time we hit the landing, and it was.
I'm just gonna say they make really interesting noises when you drop dirt bikes on them. Yeah.
Yeah, probably so.
Ouch.
I gotta know,
no,
did
they're in the
any of
bottom
them
layer.
get
There's multiple
launched
layers.
into
No.
the air when
Well,
No
the dirt
cruelty
bikes
to
were
animals,
were harmed.
guys. No. Just like we had the warning about the coolant and don't drink it. No
Yep.
cruelty
Yes.
to animals.
Yes.
on these
Do
guys.
not drop your
Tell
dirt
me right
bike
now,
on
these back afterwards,
chipmunks.
There was no dead chipmunks. They were all alive. We
no
ushered them out. You can walk
chipmunks were
through
harmed in this
Ushered them out.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
fine.
This way,
Yeah,
chipmunks.
What was the name of the org that I want to start now? What was it?
It's the Spicy Gangster Squirrels.
There you go.
The SGS.
Now I need to watch this. I'm definitely watching it either way, but now
Yeah.
I really want to figure out
Just
where that came
so
from.
we're clear, by the way, the spicy gangster squirrels was something Swervin said. I was just going a what, and I
No,
had
it
to
was
type it
somebody-
out to make
no,
sure
somebody said it
that he said it.
No, there was something and somebody said it in
what happened.
chat. Well, who said it first? Was
Yeah,
it
no,
Swervin
no,
or
that's
Smith
902. Yeah.
Yeah,
902
Swervin
typed it
said it, but I typed it in chat because I was going,
Ah.
did you just really say spicy gangster squirrels?
up. Yeah, but this all goes back to Honjo. At the end of the
Yeah,
day.
I'm blaming Honjo.
That's fine. I get blamed for everything. I'm fine with that. I will take the world's crimes and put them on my back.
SGS,
You can afford
man.
it, man.
I think we need an org named that. And it has to be a PvP org, I think. I really do.
Yeah, I
This
think so.
podcast was so distracting, I just bought 100,000 of the wrong thing.
There you go.
No!
There you
Why
go.
didn't you buy my
You should put a
stuff?
buy order up.
I wish
For,
it was
way
my
less.
stuff. I mean,
Yeah, no
come
kidding.
on, man. Come on. I don't know how it's like to
Anyone
really
needs
feel that
anyone wants some tier 3 pure honeycomb?
What honeycomb? Is it
Yeah.
Inconel? I'll buy all the tier 3 honeycomb Inconel. I don't care what it looks like. I'm using it for armor.
If
So
I
it's
had
hidden
the
underneath, like, plastic.
Quanta, I would say is it Garnerite or whatever it's called? Give me it.
Inconel is Garnerite, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me all that stuff. That's stupid.
Margin
core.
Steel is Cobalt.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't have. I can't
Isn't
wheel and
it
deal
Cold
with that kind of quanta. Yeah, no. So I'm out of the running. Leeroy,
Oh,
have at it.
God.
Have fun with that.
I gotta watch. I spent a lot of money
I
this week. I
went
gotta
there
check with
because
it.
I needed it, and the machine still says no schematics. Well, I just wasted 15 minutes. Next.
Actually, I ran into a machine the other day that had schematics in it, and like so not in the container, like actually in the machine, and it freaked me out.
If you stop a machine mid-cycle, it'll put one schematic in the schematic container.
Is that what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, how did they
What's
get that?
funny though is that it'll do that every time. So if you're the kind of person who's constantly turning your machinery on and off as you're changing jobs or whatever, I go back and I'm thinking, what the hell have happened to all the friggin' schematics I made last week? And then I start finding machines that got like 7 of this, 3 of that, 11 of the other things. Like, oh, okay.
Okay, well then that explains where the 200 XL tier 1 schematics went. So yeah, okay. I'm gonna go check that. I didn't know that. That's awesome, actually. That's a good tip.
It will favor using the ones in its schematic bank before hitting the container, though.
Oh, will it? Oh, okay. Okay, never mind then.
Are we going to
But-
continue
But
doing
like
this
I
on
say,
Thursday?
if you're running an Omni though, you can bite yourself pretty badly if you're running an Omni factory of any kind, because you're not always going to run the same job on the same machine, right?
True. Actually, that's true. I should still check it because I was running XL engines for a while, and then I was like containers. So I probably have at least 15. I've done that like at least 10 or 15 times. So with like probably 20-ish assemblers. So there's probably a good.
We're not
chunk in
going to
there.
talk about assemblers.
So yes, Nyota, I think we will continue to do this on Thursday, and we will also look at doing this on Saturday
Sneaking some in
afternoon.
on Saturdays.
Saturday afternoon, I'm thinking is going to be good for a lot of people. So
So I think
Yeah,
we
I was
should
talking
do-
with somebody from Germany. I'm trying to remember the name right now, and I'm sorry, I'm just horrible with names. But it was 12:30 p.m. my time, and it was like 8 p.m. their time. I don't know if that's correct or not, but they were in Germany, so it wasn't super late. No, maybe it was 2:30 our time. I can't remember.
I think Germany's
Well-
+3.
Plus
Plus
3. Okay, yeah.
two.
So yeah, that would
8
yeah, that would
p.m.
make sense. Yeah,
thing be
Yeah, so
somewhere around there.
and that's like Central Europe, right?
So my suggestion is I've noticed that we get between, let's say, for the last 3 weeks. This is new, right? So we have to gain some momentum on it. So we've got 20 to 30 viewers. I think that's pretty much our average. Probably
Been-
25
been,
so far.
Been in there, yeah.
Yeah, and the average thing, I'm not math is hard, don't you know? But what I think we should start doing is trying to gain some momentum on this. I think it's a really good conversation, and there's some really good positive stuff coming out of it. That's just my opinion. You guys can disagree with me if you are bored, or you're like, man, it's 3 hours is too long. I think 3 hours is probably too long. I would agree. I don't have the attention span for a 3 hour stream myself, but since I'm in it, I can talk about squirrels, and I'm happy.
But the squirrels!
Yeah. Or the golden goober. I mean, it just doesn't end. But and the space cows. Don't forget the space cows.
Yeah.
And so, but here I go again. But it would be really cool if we could start gaining some momentum in this podcast. Getting the word out, maybe advertise it more to people and remind people that it exists. Maybe the viewers that
Is there an events channel on the DU Discord that we can post in? I think there
Or
is.
even the
There is.
launcher, if we could do like a community spotlight in the launcher, similar to what we used to do with the Instagram. Like we could just like throw it up in the launcher, it'd make the launcher like even just a small corner.
Yeah, the problem with that is that then it becomes, since this is not an official NQ podcast, this is held by players, it becomes a little different than that. So it we might be able to do a community spotlight on many streamers, because we do have a lot of streamers.
Yeah,
And so
definitely.
maybe something like that, and have that within that. That might be an idea to go with, coincide with the calendar that I mentioned, I think last week about it as well. But I was just thinking, just to gain some momentum on this, I don't think that we advertised this stream anywhere this week.
Not
Did
at all.
you, Swervin?
No.
Did you?
I did not.
When we went live, I posted actually in game in general that folks were interested in talking DU or listening to folks talk
Right.
about DU
But it
that we were
wasn't like
going
put in-
live.
wasn't put in
Yeah.
Discord. It wasn't
Yeah.
put anywhere else, right? Or hey, I can do it too whenever I have a chance to hop in. Which I'm 3 for 3, man. Do I get win something? Do I get
I
a
think
golden
so.
goober?
I think we'll
We
figure
beat
something
you.
out that
I
you
got
win.
an answer, but I can't answer.
Sounds
We should
like we
almost
got
run
something
like a
figured out for
lottery
you.
or something.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
DM Nyota my answer.
Oh no, it doesn't involve a squirrel. Come on. But anyways, I can certainly try to help out if I'm available for next week's stream or something like that. Hey man, I'm in this stream. Come join. It might attract more viewers or listeners for that matter. But at the same time, I think people that are currently watching, if this is not your first or it's your first time watching or listening to this thing, tell people about it. What's every Thursday at 8:30 it starts? Is that what it is?
8:30.
8:30
8:30
Yeah,
is when we kick
0:30
it.
UTC. Yeah, so UTC 0:30.
So 0:30 UTC. So spread the word, gang. Let's keep this going. Having a nice, good, positive. I'm not saying that the other streams aren't positive. Most of them are. You guys have seen me pop into those streams. You know I'm there, and most of them are positive. But maybe having one stream for a little while being that positive point isn't such a bad idea. A highlight. And we can also highlight other people's streams. We've got streamers in here. Look, Drax is a streamer. Honjo is a streamer. Who else is a streamer? Swervin, you might be a streamer.
902 also.
902.
you. Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
we raided Taylor Bud last week, and that's how, because of the raid, is how me and Taylor Bud came up with the idea, because we just got talking because I ended up in his stream. So,
The thing I've learned about DU players is that we're kind of all segmented. We do our thing, and we have our thing we do. Let's try to gain some momentum and get more people involved with this, and then we can. I know we've mentioned PvP in the past, trying to get some PvP talkers to come along with us.
yeah, I'd
Let's get other
love that.
people. Let's get other folks, get other players. Let's see if we can continue this in all aspects of DU, not just space cows and golden goobers and
Yeah.
squirrels.
Or not to be politically insensitive here, but Care Bears.
No,
I actually started
no
a
Care
Care
Bears.
Bear squad.
No Care Bears. There's no Care Bears here.
I rep
Okay?
that. I am proud Care Bear right here that fights back. Like,
Well, I'll say this. I know we went. We were having a good time tonight for sure, and it was fun having Drax, and Seeker of Honjo. First time, probably won't be the last for both of them, and it's good having 902 Nyota back. Leeroy jumping in late. Guys, I know, again, and Leeroy, I was telling folks about the feedback we've gotten, and we've gotten some pretty good feedback. Drax was telling me a little bit of feedback he's gotten, but yeah, it seems people want to hear about what we're talking about, just like we did tonight, just listening to folks talk about DU and what they're working on. And also, there is a lot of interest around the idea section of the podcast, which we will definitely pay some attention to. And guys, please reach out with questions you want to, or topics rather you want to hear us talk about, potentially questions you might want answered. And I don't know what I can answer for you, but we can certainly talk about it.
Is the Discord made available to the public, or?
yeah, it's open invite.
Okay, so where does somebody find it?
So typically the easiest way to invite somebody, like through, because we can do a never-ending invite, so we could post that on something. If we do make a post somewhere, we can just make it so it never ends. But like the easiest way to do it is if somebody messages us and is interested in joining and having an adult business conversation about DU and just a fun one, then we can invite them to the server. And I think that's the best way to do it at first, just to ensure that we get I mean, if you don't agree with us, that's fine. Not everybody agrees on everything, but we need to have good conversations about it. And that's why we want some PvP people to drop in. Come have these conversations.
The best thing would be, let's say at this point, would be if any of the watchers right now, I'm just asking here, is that the best thing to do would be to ask, let's say, Swervin or Leeroy, or maybe anybody that was in part of this stream, if they want to be part of that Discord, to throw them an invite. Would that be the best way to get that out?
Yeah, I think so. Just adding to that, like I'm Leeroy 4334, all lowercase, because the Discord recently changed how they do additions to friends lists. So
Yep.
you don't need the number no more. It's just Leeroy lowercase and then 4334. And then if you guys want to share how to contact you on Discord, that might help. But I can manage that for people too. If people just want to message me, that's easy. But if I know Swervin, you're pretty busy, man. You make a lot of videos. You put in a lot of work, so I don't want to like burden you with that.
And Saint, likewise, if I'm streaming or if I'm in game, just someone shoots me a message, I can at least pass on the invite request, even if I can't send the request itself. So, yeah, I think that we can all work together on that.
Yeah.
I think everybody that's a member of the server should be able to invite people, and if you can't, just let me know and I can fix that. It should allow you to. So
Will do.
I mean, I think it's a great way to keep people reminded of it, and we also have to keep the message that this is for good vibes, to open the discussion. It's okay to come here with some of the issues that we have in DU or some suggestions or whatever, but it's not about shall I say it, because it's 11:30 at night my time, shall we say it's not about being a bitch fest, you know.
It's not
We're
about bashing NQ or the game.
Yeah, it's not about
No.
the there are some there's some real issues, but yeah, well, until you mention squirrels, and that's the end of that. That goes out
Okay,
the door.
Then we're
But
talking about
adults have
gardening.
fun. I think that's like
Yeah,
a
then we talk
misconception.
about
Adults would have
gardening.
fun.
and hot peppers, and yeah, I went on a tangent. It's true. Everybody's probably laughing at me now. Drax is falling asleep thinking of the golden goober. It's his fault, but yeah.
No, he's falling asleep thinking about a space cow and how to get
Either
space
one.
steak.
Either
Jumping
one.
across like the sheep, but they're cows and they're space
He's
cows.
probably
you know?
having
Like,
the
they got
weirdest
the
dream right now. You know,
Wait, maybe it's a
Um,
golden goober riding a space cow.
just kind of getting a little bit back more on topic though, is like the one thing just running Starlantis that I've realized recently actually, and I do notice this. I think other people that have communities that are interesting locations in the game, you might spot this when it's happening, but there are a lot of new players coming into the game recently. Like this week alone, I've had 4 or 5 players just ask for help and come to the station, and I think I've just given away small cores on the red ring, and if you know the red ring, it was kind of a flop, but
yeah.
I figured might as well just give it away. So I've been just giving it away and like hooking them up with ships, but I don't do that right away. I think with new players, it's important for them to, go to space for the first time and do all the early game stuff. And then once they get to that point where they want to go to space and do asteroid stuff, like I'm kind of facilitating that for people. But let's be nice to the new players, help them out. If you see a new player, grab them by the hand and drag them along. That's kind of what I've been doing. And there are a decent amount of new players out there right now. They're loving the game. So that's for me, very encouraging. I'm loving it.
Oh yeah.
I've noticed that too. I've noticed, and I will admit, I'm going to give you guys all a good compliment before we end this thing, or at least before I end this thing.
Someone
Yeah, we got to do it.
Then the when I see everybody helping out the new players, when somebody asks, I mean, there's a lot of dumb questions, and there are. I've been one of those people, or one of those players, and how do I do this? What the heck happened here? And all this stuff, or hey, can you come pick me up? Or I'm lost, or my ship, can I help you with your repairs or stuff? I've seen so much cool assistance in this game, and it's not like "lol, you suck." I see some of those every once in a while, but most of the time, this community, our Novians, as we call ourselves, is so welcoming to new players, and they're patient as all can be. So much kudos to all of you guys. Continue to do that. The more people that we get into the game and learn the game, I know it's not the easiest sometimes at first, and it can be frustrating, but once you're in, and let's get those folks addicted like everybody else is. So, and then dreaming of space cows like Drax is doing right now. So
Hey,
There you go.
Lawyer
knock
speak
space
here. We are
down.
not promoting addiction.
wait, wait and see.
Yeah.
God forbid I ever
wait a
get
minute.
millions of dollars, and I am going to invest
Disclaimer
in
alert.
you and get me my space cow.
He's
Hey, we need
away.
somebody to design a
Gosh.
space cow with like a spacesuit.
And
How
now
does
we need a mentor system so we can show people actively who's willing to help them.
How about space squirrels? Would that work?
I already said I will pay that prize pool if someone does a space squirrel contest.
Menu
Speak-
option where we can select a flag and say mentor, and then
Yeah,
in a chat window it shows all the people who have that flag enabled.
That's called the help channel.
Yeah.
You go /help and you ask your question there, and it turns out the channel's full of mentors.
Yeah.
We got to get Art Vandalay in this conversation because if you ever experienced the help channel for the last year straight, Art Vandalay is a legend.
Oh,
Yeah,
Art is amazing.
Yeah, Art actually does. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope just I'm honestly closing this out. There is a day of work tomorrow. Let's try to get some other people involved with this so that people don't have to hear my stories about the fornicating squirrels on my balcony.
But they
Actually,
were so
when I
good.
hopped in,
It's a great incentive.
when I hopped in, I was so excited to see that there was like 5 people talking already. I was like, yes, like because I thought everybody didn't do it, and then I think it was 902's like, yeah, we're just wrapping up, and I'm like, oh my god, I missed it, and they're still doing it. I'm hopping in, like I'm here, like
Yeah, we've been going
like
hard.
I was super excited to see you guys just took over. That's awesome. I love it.
Just looking at, I mean, the beginning of the podcast was pretty much with Honjo and Drax. And
Yeah.
looking at the stuff that they have, and that takes a while.
It did. It took a solid hour. It took a solid hour. It was over an hour before we were out to Seeker of Honjo's space station, which is incredible because all we were doing was covering their content, and just kind of speaks to what amazing creators they are, creators, collectors, entrepreneurs, and this kind of what amazing game this is that you could just. I mean, you guys know we could go for hours doing this, and we will if somebody doesn't stop us. So
we already did.
Here we
You guys
are.
already did.
3 hours. We are
And
3
hammer.
hours in here, and guys, I really appreciate it. Drack, Seeker Honjo, 902, Nyota, Leeroy coming in here. Loving it, guys, and we'll be doing it next week. And I will commit to as soon as possible letting you guys know when we do a Saturday. Maybe this Saturday is a good candidate, and as soon as I can figure out if that's a good time for all the parties that are involved, I will try to get that out there.
You may need to remind me.
Yeah. So
there's a high degree of chance that Honjo forgets within 24 hours.
That's fair. You know, I got you, man. I will hit you up.
We'll just make a golden Honjo that he can't forget.
So the squirrel is real.
No, I'm the fish. I'm the goldfish.
Gotcha.
So we've got a lot of golden animals to create. Somebody needs to get on that and make some money. I'm gonna shut her down. There's nobody to raid, so you guys have a good night, and we will see you guys next time.